All right, chat, welcome in. The finals are here. The starting lineups are being announced. The teams are about to take the court. So game one, lock in. Let's go. It's all been leading to this moment, chat. Hey, yo, it's been a minute. I guess I know, as the Spurs fan, the Knicks fans are gonna be like, hey now, speaking of waiting for a second to get to the finals, but still, we were, I guess we weren't alive for the 50 years that the Knicks didn't make the finals, so and we don't root for them, so it is what it is there. But we're back in the championship ways. DNA, Chad, the championship DNA of the Spurs. They were running that song for the intro. I think again, that's the lineage, the taking of the torch, not just for the league, but for what this franchise is as well, too. It's probably the other way to say it. It's not just taking the torch of what the franchise is, but taking the torch for the league. But either way, both things are on the line right now for Wemby, for Castle, for Harper, for this group. Chad, the Fiesta colorways are back. Hey, yo. We got to focus for multiple reasons, because it's the finals, but also I guess we might have to see what other sports are on for our TV2 situation, because I didn't know what else to throw on. I panicked and I played Love Island. I've literally never seen an episode of Love Island before, but I figured, hey, yo, what could be some easy viewing on the TV next to the NBA Finals. So I guess, chat, we'll see. We'll see if we pay attention to the basketball at all. Hey, yo, chat, I'm just a man. It is what it is. I'm just flesh and blood at the end of the day. But I guess we do love basketball, so hey, yo, we gotta lock in. But if it gets bad, we're gonna start doing Love Island breakdowns at some point. It is what it is. But we did overhear somebody at work. See, Chet, what are we? IT might have to switch this. Hey, yo, what are we doing? This B-roll? Hey, yo, they should. It is what it is. But I guess we gotta get Scott Foster to jump this game up quick, so we can get going. Cat versus Wemby. We might have to pause to get going here with what we've been talking about. I don't know. But what were we even saying before that? It doesn't even matter. We just lock in for the game. Oh, I overheard somebody at work say they put $100 on the Spurs, so the confidence is out there. The confidence is out there. That's it's good to know. He said Spurs in 5. I was like, whoa. Hey, yo, let's see. Brunson hits the 3 right away, Chad. That's a bit of a confident bet. I was like, I love to hear it. We love that other people are confident. I'm not saying that I'm not confident. Maybe 5 seems a little risky, for a team that did get us in the regular season. For the record, I don't remember, obviously the competitiveness of the in-season tournament. That's the game we remember. Chat, Wemby right over Towns. His shot making was incredible in that OKC series, and I don't know. I did see a short of Simmons from his pod talking about 5 Wembys versus 5 Michael Jordans. It might honestly be a bit at some point, like most. Oh, Chad, I just thought I knocked over the bottle that didn't have a lid on it. Hey, yo. No, that's good. Luckily I have it set up here, because I was thinking ahead. It is what it is. Pause. I was like, you know what you're going to do? You're probably going to kick that over later. And I guess luckily we kicked over the one with the cap on it. But, Chad, 6-2. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But what was I was saying, back to the Wemby matchup stuff. Like, Wemby, he's attacking now. That is the next phase of his game still even. And he has become better at attacking from more spots on the court throughout the course of his career. That's for sure. Early in his career, he was kind of just jacking up threes as a main point of his offense. But now it's his handle, it's his ability to gather into a shot and stuff like that, more so than, again, he's like overpowering opponents all the time. Like, that still can be a little bit of a factor for him. And then right there, we see his handle, still can even, do some work as well too. And New York is, what do you say, like a bigger lineup than OKC. OKC does have the athleticism and the versatility, but when you have Chet out there, and they are a little small from the guard spot as well too, and obviously New York does have a good amount of wings there between Hart, Anunoby, and Bridges, and then obviously running Towns at the 5 without Robinson, but still I think the lineup holds. I get the Robinson for the depth stuff as well too, and he is a physical matchup to throw at Wemby for sure. But at the end of the day, this is your lineup. So, obviously starting, it's probably not the worst thing in the world. Fox missed the 3, but a good offensive rebound by Vassell. Obviously, hey, yo, we need the points. We're struggling here. Oh, Hart, what was he doing, chat? He thought he was attacking Wemby. Hart's going to, I guess he saw Caruso getting some layups off in game 1, round 1. Hopefully Hart doesn't have the Caruso series, the Caruso game. Hey, yo, oh, speaking of, chat, just right to the basket. Right for the easy layup. Wemby was out on the perimeter that time. So, I mean, hey, yo, wide open, easy going. They say 4 for 7 for New York to start. And, I mean, it is what it is. Like, we got to be honest about the Spurs. I do wonder if they peaked emotionally after the Western Conference Finals. I did see Garnett say this, where he said that he didn't like the fact that Wemby's so emotional, and that is probably not the best way to phrase it. But again, I do get what he's saying. You're like, is that the apex emotionally that they're going to be at for the season? But a good 3 there. Okay, 10-7. Getting back into it a little bit. But that series just being as grueling as it was, I think the Thunder being a bigger rival for the Spurs than the Knicks is going to make it a more emotionally investing series as well too. Like I do, again the Chet Wemby thing. Like I do really think that San Antonio had their sights set on the Thunder for this year. Like that was the goal for this year. As hey yo Chet, I realized that we had DNA playing in the background, Kendrick DNA. Because, again, the Spurs use that as their intro track. But now the Spotify playlist is just going. So, I don't know, we just got Keith Sweat. And I was like, what, hey, yo, obviously, we don't mind. But I was like, are we just going to be playing music the whole time? Maybe we are. But we'll lock into the game as well, too. Maybe too many things in the background is probably not the best. But, hey, yo, shout out to Keith Sweat. Better yet, call in Keith Sweat. Are you watching the finals? See if we can get him on the line here, and can we DM him real quick? Keith Sweat, what are you doing? Can you call in real quick? Let's see what he's up to here, chat. Real quick. Hey yo, I just quick Google. Is he up to anything? Has he been in the news? Hey yo, maybe we need to go listen to Tank's pod and see if there has to be an episode with Keith Sweat, chat. Hey, yo, let's see real quick. R&B money. Shout out to Tank as well, too. Can we just get an R&B, an R&B roundtable for the finals? Chat, an NBA Finals R&B roundtable? Hey, yo. It's like the Hollywood Reporter does their actor roundtables for the Oscars and stuff. And for the finals, we could do a basketball player roundtable. No. We're going to do it. We're going to do an R&B singer roundtable. Let's see what we got here, chat. Oh, here we go. Oh, May 7th. Oh, it was recent. I feel like I'd seen that in the algorithm. I guess Tank is not on this one. Is this while Tank was preparing for the verses? I don't know, but we might have to cue this one up, chat. Keith Sweat, hey yo, comments say a dope interview. So I think high expectations there. But they just had T.I. on as well too. So that would have been their 4th episode ago. So we got to catch up, chat. T.I., Keith Sweat. Hey, yo, what a run. What a run. Yeah, they had Mary J on the 18th. That was a good interview as well, too. I guess we got to be honest. That was the last one that we watched. So we've missed the Versus recap. Keith Sweat and T.I., chat. Hey, yo, that's why you got to lock in the R&B Money pod. Because, they're always going to be having great guests. I just randomly scrolled down. February 19th, 2025, Smokey Robinson. Hey, yo. We might have to rip through the back catalog as well too. Pause. But what are we saying, chat? Hey, yo, we were talking about something for Spurs versus Knicks. Their lineups, peaking emotionally. But again, I do think that was the goal of the season in some ways. And they were also favored are favored overall in the series right now. I guess, I don't know right now, is the poly market actively switching? But, going into, or at least when we looked after game 7 for Spurs OKC, they were the favorites. And, I got a little concerned. Wemby starts doing the interviews as well too. He's going to do the media stuff that's going to need to be done for the finals, and again, he's the star of he's the face of the league. So what we can't let our star player do a couple of interviews, But yeah, hey, if you're a little bit online for an NBA fan, I do feel like you kind of know the, I don't even know what the the proper term for it is. But you do know just the narratives that are there when you sit down with Malika Andrews or Taylor Rooks chat. The athletes get to say some quotes. They get to going crazy with the quotes. Maybe they start to try to big up their game a little bit when they're sitting down in front of certain interviewers. I don't know if it always means that it's like we're saying where they're at a certain part in their career. We're not saying Wemby has stopped the chase in year 22 at in year 3, but again for this season, I just think that was a lot invested in the Western Conference run and proving that they were better than and with OKC being the defending champions, there is that little bit of a mental maybe where it's like, are we the best team in the league because we just got the defending champions? But again, you're the best team in the you're the best team in the league because you win the NBA championship, not because of defending champion type series where you just eliminate them. But again, obviously it's a long game. We gotta lock in and see what's going on here. Hopefully when we go to the bench, we're still able to do okay, because that's where the Knicks have also been really, really good this year as well too. They've been stronger there. Bringing in Mike Brown, they've actually play some of the guys as well too. I did see Mike Brown. There was a clip of him during the media day starting a "Who Let the Dogs Out" chant. I guess I don't even know if that's AI or not. Did somebody AI Mike Brown at NBA media day "Who Let the Dogs Out"? Because that's a quick clip as well too. 10, 15 seconds, so you don't have to necessarily do a whole AI interview for Mike Brown. And that would make sense as well too. Mike Brown, who let the dogs out? But again, I don't know if that's a positive or not. But for a media day interview, I did see people saying that might be a little that might be a good sign for San Antonio if the Knicks coach is kind of acting like that. But again, I think there is a lot of other matchup stuff that is going good for New York, and a lot of media stuff as well too, like we're saying for San Antonio. That is a little strange as well. But regardless, it's gonna be a different experience. With Wemby as the lead guy in San Antonio, because again, Duncan was just a much more reserved, quiet guy, and maybe was ESPN not searching out Duncan as much for the interviews as well too? I don't know if that was part of it, but he is also overlapping with Kobe and LeBron and Shaq and Wade and Melo. There's just a lot of other stars in the league as well too, and in big market teams as well. And I was thinking about that in terms of just the matchups that San Antonio has had in the finals, because again, there has been obviously great matchups going to the finals as well. I mean, you think Spurs-Lakers Western Conference battles back in the day. Again, Shaq and Duncan is about as all-time from a matchup standpoint. Again, we're talking about the two, and Kobe as well too, but I'm just thinking more, specifically the individual player battles. That's about as good as two players going against each other as you're going to get there. But in terms of who they did actually end up playing in the finals, that is one of those things that people do bring up for the San Antonio sort of debate when they're just debating how great the dynasty is. And it's never is San Antonio a bad team, obviously. It's just debating them against the other great teams of all times. 90s Bulls, 80s Lakers. What I guess it's kind of those teams basically. I guess the Warriors as well too from the 10s if we go the newer teams. But again, there is gonna be the opponents that they faced in the finals that maybe on paper look a little bit different than some of the other opponents, because that first New York team, of course, is not necessarily the most star-studded team that they faced in the finals. And then what did they have? The not the Jazz, the Nets with Jason Kidd, the Pistons, the Cavs where they played LeBron in 2007, and then the back-to-back matchups against the Heat in the finals were definitely very, very star-studded mainstream matchups. So there was a lot of hype going into those for sure. But that second one was obviously there is a little bit of a different type of hype when you're going for a rematch as well too, because I was also thinking is this the best finals that we've gotten just in terms of the hype going into it since probably the 2016 finals? But 2016 was also a rematch as well too. So I mean, 14-15 was pretty hyped. Curry, LeBron that first season. Again, Curry obviously really took the league by storm. In a Wemby like way. No, maybe Wemby in a Curry like way as well too. But obviously just that as it was happening in the season, and by the time we get to the end of it, and it's just like the full pause, the just that stranglehold on the league is there at that point. It's undeniable, the popularity and the effect that he's having. But regardless, again, obviously some of the injury stuff for Cleveland there, and that was a little bit of a uglier series as well too. We don't necessarily look back at the highlights in the individual games. There are some great Curry games, and he did have a couple of moments. There's that one game where he cooks Dellavedova a couple times for three and the same spot. He hits a couple back-to-back threes. But again, overall, that's not the most revisited finals of all time, just for the hype and the narrative and stuff like that. But yeah, again, for the Spurs specifically, this is arguably the maybe outside of the Miami rematch, the most hype finals that they've been in. But again, that also goes to the New York market of it as well too. That's probably the point I left out there saying earlier, because that New York team from earlier, again, was just a different type of team, where they were, I forget, maybe were they an 8 seed going into the playoffs? It was the lockout season, so I don't know if they would have had a run at the end of the regular season. Would they have gone? We have to go back and look. Could they have made the 4 seed in an 82-game season or something like that? But again, regardless, that year they were the 8 seed, I think. And again, I don't know if they had maybe Sprewell made a third team All NBA, but they didn't have a guy like Brunson, who was arguably the best player in the NBA at that point. Again, is that just a strong thing to throw out there for Brunson at this point? But I don't think that maybe that's just a whole storyline that we have to investigate as well too. But it is obviously on the table. You're in the finals, best player on a team that could win the finals. It's going to be a conversation that's going to have to be had. But I guess again, I don't know if we were having it about Latrell Sprewell and Larry Johnson back in the day. I was rerunning some of those games here earlier. Maybe we should have been rerunning the in-season tournament game. I don't know, but I was rerunning over the past couple of days the 1999 NBA Finals, and I was looking at that Knicks team again. How did we have to go back and maybe watch the whole playoffs? How did they make the finals? Again, they were a talented team. Oh, and Mitchell Robinson's out there, Chad. What a warrior! Hey, yo, I don't know. I guess he's not at home. I was like, is he getting the Willis Reed treatment from the fans? I guess would he have gotten the Willis Reed treatment from the fans? Oh, Mitchell Robinson checking into the game. He should have made it more dramatic, Chad. He should have been waiting in the tunnel, and then it's intro music, and then just Mitchell Robinson just storms out of the tunnel. Smoke just spewing out of the entryway. Pyrotechnics, chat going. Hey, yo. Oh, we went for the lob over Cornette, and Cornette. Oh, Chet, Cornette's a lockdown defender now. Hey, yo, he had the chase down block in the last game, and now he has to stop here. And Harper with the basket over the Knicks there. I mean, Harper could be a series winner here, because again, the bench stuff is going to be really, really important, and Harper is arguably the best bench player that is in this series. Again, in a sort of Ginobili-esque type of way, where if Fox is in the starting lineup, you're kind of mixing your guard minutes there, and the rookie Harper is going to be the one that is going to be sitting behind Fox at this point. And they still have Brunson and Anunoby in the game as well too. So it's only it's McBride and Shamet and Robinson in off the bench for New York. But yeah, in some of those minutes when maybe Wemby and Brunson are off the court, could maybe, and even with Towns on the court as well too, could Harper, does he have to be the best player on the court with Towns on the court? But he can still be the impactful offensive player. Here we go, check corner 3. I mean, he's bringing us back into the game, 19-14. He's swinging this game, and we've been comparing him to Ginobili the entire time. But speaking of some of those finals, like the 05 finals, there are times where Ginobili was leading the team in scoring, kind of being the offensive stabilizer. Obviously, Duncan, the legendary guy, throughout as well too. But just the spacing and the moments, again, where Ginobili is inserting himself, pause, and scoring is going to be as important, spacing this stuff out. And San Antonio now 22-17, a little bit of a run. Brunson not able to get the layup to go here. Fox in transition. Is Champagnie, heat check, Chet? Oh, Chet. Hey, yo. I mean, not to call out our guy, but Champagnie might have, He might be in the bottom half of the league in heat check 3-point percentage. Hey, yo, and I only call it out because we want it as those heat check moments. It's exciting for a fan. Those are good momentum building moments. We're not even in the arena, but in arena experience as well too. Those are important crowd energizing plays. Again, pause all this, but there's just that anticipation of the run that's been happening, and then the buildup of, oh, the guy's taking the shot, there it goes, and then again, the crowd's just ready to cheer at that moment. But again, shout out, Champagne's delivered a lot as well too, so we don't want to call him out, but there has been that would be an interesting stat as well too. Do we need another analytic? But it's like, what are guys' 3-point percentage after making a three? Does that even make sense? I guess does your 3-point percentage automatically go down the more threes you make? It has to, right? Like, is that just eventually you're gonna miss one at some point? That's our mathematician stats right there. But yeah, I think that because if you're, especially after like 2 in a row, like who is really, and the point is maybe again, who is really getting to the hot streak points for their 3-point shooting, like who is getting to the 3-4 makes in a row. So that would be the other side of the stat, that maybe it's a simpler way to say it, like who has the most 3+ 3-point makes in a row over the course, in like it has to be in game, like it can't be you make your last 3 in one game and then make 2 threes in the next game, or you make 1 3 in a row 3 games. Like it still has to be who has the most 3 in a row 3-pointers, but yeah, within one game as well. And again, it has to be 3 offensive possessions in a row, obviously. It's just the 3, your 3 3-pointers. And it doesn't even have to be, your 3 buckets in a row. Like if you take a 3 and then, miss a mid-range, but then hit 2 more threes, like it still counts, I think. Maybe it doesn't count totally, but I guess for the stats at some point, it is what it is. But hey, REMINGTOM Plus, we'll have some new basketball advanced analytics on there. We'll have who has hit the most, who has like hit the most 3 to 4+ 3-point stretches for the year. It's always some random guy leading the league. Hey, like obviously Curry and some of those guys will be up there as well, but it'll be like CJ McCollum is like leading the league. Hit 3+ threes 19 times in a row. It's just like, what? Maybe he also misses 4 in a row the most as well too. So then again, that's the importance of the stats. So it's like Curry's the only guy to have 15+ 3-point makes. I guess it's like, how does Mike Breen say this on the broadcast? Maybe it's where we have trouble pitching this one to ESPN. But if we can, I guess, get a simplified version of it, then maybe it would work. But again, for Harper, I think that obviously, and as Wemby and Castle and the starting guys adjust as well too, as they figure out how to attack this team, like I'm sure that they'll become more effective as the series goes, hopefully. But yeah, if the bench is gonna be a plus this series, then we're still good. Then we're still good to go. Can you win a finals with your bench, Chad? I mean, hey, I think you can. But Wemby is back in the game now as well too. Harrison Barnes back in the game. Speaking of guys responsible for our win against OKC, I don't know how many minutes he played in Game 7, but there was a stat that now he has gotten wins over OKC in Game 7 twice on his birthday. So once in 2016 when they made the 3-1 comeback, and then this year in Game 7 as well too. He is 10 years apart now. On his birthday, gotten Game 7 wins in OKC. So obviously, his birthday is probably falling around that same time every year. It's gonna be, playoff time. Again, it's likely, but still, I guess the Game 7 versus OKC, and I think it was the same. Well, I was gonna, this is where I was gonna get. I think it was the same day. I guess if it was his birthday, but I guess that would be, the Game 7 versus the matchup again. All of he's playing in the game. All of it lining up. Still important. Champagne, another 3-pointer, Chad. See, again, he just needs to space him out. It is what it is. Like, he'll just kind of, make every other for a while. But over Shamit complaining. Hey, Scott Foster, Chad. He's locked in. The unbiased Scott Foster. Do we love Scott Foster? I don't know. Pause. But, it seems like early on they haven't been too crazy with the what do you say? Like, initiating contact and the shot fakes and things like that. I don't think Brunson has aggressively gone to that at this point in the game as well too. But it doesn't seem like, they've been too crazy. That one was a little, I don't know if that was getting a little close there. Anunoby did eventually wander over into Champagne's, landing area. Hey, I don't want to sound like we're, not defending Champagne's game, but just for fairness of it, I could see where that one's getting a little bit close there. McBride trying to operate the entire offense there at the top of the key. Doesn't even advance the ball past the 3-point line, chat. Hey, yo. Not to turn into Gene Hackman and Hoosiers over here, but how do you run a possession in 20? How do you run a basketball possession without getting the basketball past the 3-point line? Hey, yo. Harper, Finals MVP, Dylan Harper. Can we a 20-3 run by San Antonio, chat? Hey, yo. 27-17 in that 20-3 run was in the last 5 minutes. And is that Shamet now with an off the ball foul, or was that off the ball foul on Brunson? Oh, that was on that last. Oh, so that's what they called that on. Oh, okay. I thought they called that an Anunoby. So, hey, I guess that was my bad there. The foul that I was talking about was Scott Foster. And shout out to Scott Foster either way, as long as he's calling out on New York. But it was Shamet pushing Harrison Barnes to the ground. So, and I guess into the ground and into Brunson as well too. Brunson getting injured by his own guy. Chad Shamet's gonna cost New York a finals. That's how it would go. Hey, yo. New York gets all the way to the finals, and then Landry Shamet just pushes Harrison Barnes right into Jalen Brunson. It's like, oh, well, there goes all the hopes and dreams of the New York fans. Hey, yo, shout out to Landry Shamet. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But fortunately, it seemed like, more Brunson just kind of making sure everything was stable, and then, it seems like he's good to go. But that's close, Chad. Shamet dodged a bullet there. He's mad about, the foul, but really, he should be thankful that he's able to walk the New York streets. Speaking of dodging a bullet, chat, hey, yo, he might have to do that a couple of times if he injures Brunson. That is for sure. Because, again, we've talked about the Brunson greatest New York Knick in the past. But, again, I don't know. He's going to the locker room, chat. Oh, Shamet. Oh, Landry Shamet did it, chat. Hey, yo, Brunson's going back to the locker room. Oh, you hate to see it. Brunson's obviously one of the great stories in the league, for sure. But, oh, man, Chad Shamet, and he's still in the game. Mike Brown might have to sub him out. I guess he can't sub him out now. Who's he going to play? Brunson's out. But, oh, Chad, hey, yo, is Shamet going to have to just, hang out and I guess, will they go back? They probably won't make it back to San Antonio if Brunson's out. But maybe Shamet's just hanging out in San Antonio anyways. Mike Brown's just like just get on the Zillow, Shamet. You're safer here. Hey, yo. Can we, the first time the league has to orchestrate a trade during the finals, they have to trade Shamet away because just for his safety? Hey, yo. I don't know what's going to happen, Chad. I think Brunson, walking off on his own power, hopefully it's just, again, precautionary stuff. The Spurs catching some momentum. I don't know if Brunson was going to get subbed out there anyway, so again, it could just be taking every caution available. But oh man, chat, you hate to see it. Again, I guess the Willis Reed moment. I guess we don't necessarily want to get a Jalen Brunson moment in the fact that we don't want him to win the game, but we would like him to triumphantly return and have maybe a good performance. But again, if it results in a win, then that'd be different. So, shout out to Willis Reed. We still hope Willis Reed and Walt Frazier are the greatest New York Knicks of all time after this, chat. Hey, yo. Because I guess, if Brunson passes them, that probably means he won the finals. And we don't necessarily, that would probably not be the ideal outcome for the season for us there. But, I guess we got Fox one-on-one with I almost said Calderon, chat. Hey, yo, Jose Calderon? The ham farmer himself? No, Jose Alvarado. Hey, yo. Do we need, Chad, I almost just said, do we need to do an all Jose lineup in the NBA? I don't think we have to. I almost said Canseco. That's a baseball player. Hey, was there who's the Fernandez guy? Was there a Jose in the dunk contest? At one Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I never thought I would sound like an old man at this soon, chat. But I guess there it is. There it is. I just said, is there a Jose in the dunk contest at some point? It is. Oh, chat, rest in peace to Rick Adelman, Hall of Fame coach for the Trailblazers in the 80s and the 90s, the Warriors in the 90s, the Kings in the 2000s. So he was there. He was the coach for the Weber Bibby era in the, the Kings team that probably should have been in the finals one of those years, but unfortunately the league didn't want it to be. So, is the league going to shut down our live stream now? I don't know, but Rockets in the 2010s and then the Timberwolves for a couple years there as well too. Rick Adelman, one of 11 coaches in NBA history with 1,000 career wins, coached Portland to the NBA Finals. Oh, and he was also there for Clyde as well. Oh, Chad, what a coach. Hey, really, again, great teams. Obviously, again, like we're saying, that Blazers team was really, really competitive every year. I guess 95 to 97 Warriors, that might have been right after like the peak of like Mullen and, let me see, the Hardaway era here. Tim Hardaway. Oh, 90 to 03. No, so he was there for Hardaway. Hardaway traded in 95, 96 to Miami. So I guess kind of, right, like we're saying, right at the end there. I guess run TMC, not that crazy of a run, but rest in peace to Rick Adelman, Chad. Hey, a legendary run. One of the greats. One of the greats. NBA 7 seasons as a point guard. Good production there as well too. But I guess what were we even gonna look up here when we first got to the page? I don't even remember, chat. It is what it is. But again, obviously not bad to pay respects to a legend as well too. Harper with 10 to start double digits, chat. Best rookie. Oh, I almost just said best rookie in the finals performance. I think we're forgetting one pretty massive rookie finals performance. Magic Johnson in the finals, still the legend. And well, was he a rookie? It was his first playoff run, right? I guess we can look that up. But he was a rookie that year. That's kind of the double legend of it, because in comparison with Wemby, anyways, this is like the one comparison that you have in terms of a guy's playoff run. I guess we have to look up Bill Russell, right, real quick, because Bill Russell, I mean, the guy won 11 championships in 13 years. Like, I guess the odds that his first playoff run would have been one of the ones that he didn't win, obviously, is pretty reasonable. But his rookie year, Magic, he did win the finals, won the finals MVP as a rookie. That's crazy. I mean, 18 points a game, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, and 3 steals the entire playoffs. So that's over 16 games. 9 assists and 3 steals. For the entire playoffs is insane. Can I do math? I'm gonna say 100 steals the entire playoffs. No, I don't think he quite had that, but he was definitely cooking there. I mean, 15 assists a game in 84-85 in the playoffs. Obviously, Magic, underrated Magic Johnson. But again, in terms of a guy just having the one run through the league, his first attempt, he is the standard for that. But like we're saying as well too, standard for best rookie performances in the finals. So Russell, 7th in MVP voting overall as a rookie here. And I thought they won, did they win like 9 straight or something like that? So they did also win as a rookie as well too. I guess they didn't have finals MVP, right? Because West won it later on as the first. He was the first guy ever to win it. And I guess they didn't really know what they were doing yet, so they were like, let's just give it to Jerry. I guess, maybe they didn't know what they were doing, just unfortunately, maybe it was a lot of backwards thinking, who knows? I guess, we don't want to, put that on a Jerry West award necessarily. Jerry West is one of the most deserving basketball players of all time. Rest in peace to the legend. One of the great people, just in basketball in general, obviously, with his contributions throughout the game in so many ways. But for Russell, I guess they didn't have finals MVP in 56, 57. So maybe he would have been the first guy to win finals MVP as a rookie as well, if that would have been the case. Because again, I don't think there's anybody between Jerry West and Magic that does qualify there. Kareem did, I think, win it his second year in Milwaukee. So his second year, but I think also his second playoff run as well too. We could go see what his first playoff run looked like here. But I guess finals over the Hawks. Russell versus Pettit. round one, chat, pause, and 57. But Pettit just crushing. Oh, maybe Sharman was the MVP here. I'm not sure. Do we have? Oh, I guess we just said, hey, yeah, there was no Finals MVP. Heinsohn 24-12, so maybe Heinsohn would have won it. You also have Bill Sharman 22 3-3. Russell 23 rebounds a game, and then 3 assists a game. And they weren't tracking blocks as well too. So Russell's at like 7 blocks a game, maybe back then. But yeah, he would have been behind. I guess Kuzi as well too as 20 points at 26. I mean, Kuzi nearly a triple-double. Hey, yo, 20 points, 9 assists, and then 6 rebounds as well. So, you know, obviously, hey, yo, the 57 Celtics were pretty stacked. But Pettit and Cliff Hagan were really trying. And Ed McCauley as well too, Slater Martin. I guess, you know, there's some depth here on this Hawks team. Jack Mahone and Jack Coleman. Hey, yeah, 6 guys scoring 10 a game. And then Pettit just putting up 30. So maybe Pettit would have won Finals MVP. Hey, yo, Chad. Hey, yo. But, you know, early 50s, 60s standards, what does that mean? But, you know, again, if a loser, respectfully, if the defeated team can if a loser can win the Finals MVP, if a loser can win the Finals MVP, then you can win the Finals MVP, Chad. Hey, yo, keep striving. But if a defeated team can win the Finals MVP, then maybe Pettit scoring 30 a game, 30 and 18 and two assists. You know, is LeBron 38 and 8 better than 30, 18 and 2? You know, do we have to do a total box score calculation there and see what is going on? But yeah, I guess, you know, again, Russell would have been in pretty close competition there as well. I guess I was going to say, I don't know if we can compare this Spurs team to the 57 Celtics. You know, let's wait and see, Chad. Hey, yo, let's wait and see. Maybe we can. I mean, that'd be crazy. This is the best team since the 50s Celtics. I mean, Chad. Hey, yo. I mean, beyond our wildest dreams. Oh, Cat driving in. Ooh, Chad. Aggressive take to the basket there. And he can definitely have that over Chet as well too. Like, he can kind of push Wemby around a little bit if he wants, not if he wants to, but I'm just saying, like, if he is in an attacking mindset, he can get past Wembanyama in a more, you know, sturdy way, than Chet can. And honestly, just probably a better array of offensive skills than Chet as well too. I guess, honestly, I was gonna say a combo of Chet and Hartenstein. Hey, yo, you know, we tread lightly, but yeah, you know, more skilled than Chet as well, I would say. You know, Chet is definitely a very, you know, he capable perimeter 3-point guy. He's got the handle. You know, he has the ability, but Towns is definitely, you know, a more consistent 3-point shooter out over the course of his career. The greatest 3-point shooting big man of all time, in his words. And, you know, still a pretty diverse offensive player outside of that as well too. Good playmaker, good rebounder. Hey, yo, is this March Madness? What's happening? Oh, chat, the OBS is disconnecting. Hey, yo, testing 1 2 3. Are we back? Are we good to go? Okay. Hey, yo, I don't know where I cut out there, but you know, we'll just keep it moving. We'll just keep it moving. It is what it is. Spurs still on top. Speaking of on top, Love Island chat. Oh man, is that why people watch this show? Hey, yo, it is what it is. I don't know if we would sit down and watch it normally, but I would say, you know, watching it in the background of a live stream, not bad. You know, I don't know, chat, a new routine. We'll have to see. Is this going to become a Love Island live stream? Is the new episode dropped yet? Is this the new episode? I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. You know, our journey into reality TV, I guess, you know, continues to get there. You know, starting with Basketball Wives, now moving slowly over to Love Island chat. You know, it'll be there. I guess, does Love Island have a Pluto channel? If Love Island had a Pluto channel, then maybe it would get in the rotation a little bit more. You know, if it's located next to Basketball Wives and the channel scroll, then you know, we can make that work. But you know, hey, just back and forth pause between Basketball Wives, you know, the R&B music video channel, and then the Love Island channel, chat. Hey, yo, and then the Johnny Carson channel. Hey, you know, shout out Johnny Carson. Just you know, for when the sun's out, you know, a little daytime TV. I guess, you know, Johnny Carson daytime TV, not really, but Still. Oh, Towns. Oh, hard fall to the court. Oh, Wemby. Getting frustrated. I don't know. I think Towns. See, now Towns is overplaying it. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I don't know. Scott Foster is. Nobody's going to the monitor, so it doesn't seem like there's gonna be any sort of discussion about, whether or not there's a little more going on there. I think that was just a good, sturdy, what do you say? Yeah, and then I think Towns just got a little too lean far back on that, trying to avoid Wemby, and then Wemby did kind of smack him on the face as well too, but it was more combined with Towns' momentum falling backwards. So we'll see, because again, he's going for the block, and then the follow through. It's like the follow through of his elbow hits Towns' face, but then Towns is like trying to like swoop around. Because make no mistake, like Towns, like we're saying, Towns needs to not be afraid to go into Wemby's body like that. Ayo, pause, because that's an example of, why is Towns' momentum going backwards? Ayo, pause, because he's trying to go around Wembanyama flying through the air like he's a point guard, and he can't get into some of those habits at some times. And he's what, like 6'11" himself. Like yes, Wemby is gonna have a matchup there, but we're 6'11" to 5.5, 7.5 feet tall. Chad, that's close enough. That's close enough. You're good to go at that point. I mean, you know what? That's Steph versus Tatum in a one-on-one. I mean, is Steph versus Tatum in a one-on-one? I don't know. I'm honestly picking Steph. I'm picking Steph in that scenario. Obviously Tatum's gonna have his just. Pause, his natural advantages. Hey, what are we, Richard Attenborough? Jason Tatum with his natural advantages over Steph Curry. That might be a pause as well. I'm not sure, but either way, again, that could be fair. And I feel like once you're taller, it's like it gets closer. Like 6'11" to 7.5 feet tall is different than 6 foot to 6.5 feet tall, if that makes sense. Maybe it's a skill type thing. But I don't know if you can like post up if you're. I mean, some guys can. Brunson is. It could be Jamal Murray. Some guys do have the ability to post up bigger players. Murray versus Anthony Davis. That's even more of a discrepancy than Towns versus Wemby. Like it's fair, Chad. Towns can't be afraid. So I hate to give him advice, as well. And that was a little bit of a theme for us for Shea. I honestly think that Shea in that game 7 was probably, I don't want to say like the most unafraid that he was, but I just don't think he was thinking of like being distracted by Wemby in that game, if that makes sense. Where he, was, and a lot of it as well too is because he was being double teamed on the perimeter, so he wasn't even getting to drive into the basket a lot of the times. But still, it just seemed like there was it did just seem like he was in a good way, like not seeing the defense. Like the defense was there affecting him in the previous games. And I don't know if exactly, his field goal percentage and all that stuff was like elite in that game, but he was awesome in the game 7. And, again, there was just like an avoidance, a non-affectedness by the defense that he had throughout the course of that game. But, again, like Towns in this one could have a similar thing as well too. Maybe Brunson not so much against Shea. Like Brunson's definitely going to have some moments where, he's going to get he's a skilled player. Obviously, he's one of the best. He's going to get his baskets over Wemby or anybody for sure. But, I don't know if he's going to be a consistent, like, should be attacking the Wembanyama constantly, time and time again. And he's such a good mid-range operator as well, too. So, I guess, did Mike Brown challenge and then they won the challenge? Is that what they're saying? At this point, Zach Zarba, the replay official, the Spurs challenged the other way. Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, I mean, that would seem like that's the right call, Chad. Again, the refs, we love to see it. But Harper, I see a little bit of the drive going in for the shot, the elbow to the arm. I feel like other offensive players are starting to incorporate that more in their game. I'm just gonna start pushing off. They're like, if the precedent is there, then I'm just gonna do it. And maybe the refs are. They're like, we'll look away just a little bit from pause. Hey, yo. Well, when did the refs turn into the cops from the town, Chad? Hey, yo.
It's just like Brunson just like pulls up after a bank heist, and Scott Foster's just like, oh look, I'll look the other way. Hey, yeah. I guess again, it's like calling a foul on somebody. It'd be like if the cop like stepped in and like blocked traffic for Brunson as he was driving away from the heist. And like, oh, we'll help you get away. I guess not Brunson, Shea, whoever you want to say. Oh, Chad, look at the little New York fan section there in San Antonio. I guess that will be a fun element. Will be what celebrity Knicks fans decide to make the trek down to the city, Chad. Hey, yo, who's gonna be showing up in San Antonio for the finals? I mean, I guess where's Ben Stiller now rank in the best Knicks fans? Is he going for it? He might be going for it, honestly. I don't know if we necessarily thought that Ben Stiller was actively pursuing the best New York fan title belt, but I think he's throwing his hat in the ring. There was I did see some posts on Instagram of him like doing he was filming some clips on his iPhone of the game. I think it was versus the Cavs because it was of James Harden. So, wrong team there for Ben Stiller. But either way, the clips were very cinematic. So it turns out if you have people again well, maybe if you're locked into Hollywood, obviously Ben Stiller's behind the camera, producing and directing a lot these days, very, very influential there. But I don't know if a lot of people think of like Ben Stiller, the director, per se. And he honestly might be a better director than he is an actor, like a more skilled director than he is an actor. Maybe, do I say a more interesting director than an actor? I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it. But there is and like we said before, like the movies that he's in as an actor are obviously, he's in so many great movies. But in terms of himself, he's always bringing like a strong B+ in the films. Like, I don't know if Ben Stiller was ever like, oh man, Ben Stiller is just like, in a different, Ben Stiller went to a different level in this movie. Hey, speaking of Wemby, did Ben Stiller ever have like game 1 of the 2000 of the Western Conference Finals like Wemby had, where it's just like we left it where like Ben Stiller is the best actor in the world. Hey, I don't know if we ever quite got there, because if we're going the comedy route, like you can get there with comedy people as well too, like best actor for sure, but just that idea of, again, them being the most entertaining person, or however you want to phrase it. Like, again, Will Ferrell can get to those territories. However you want to, is he the best at acting at what he does as well, too? It's like him in comedy is going to be better / more reliable than anything. Obviously, in the past, like, Eddie Murphy has been there as well, too. So, it's not just necessarily, again, real actors per se. I mean, and Eddie Murphy is, I think, a way better actor than Will Ferrell as well. Like, I think maybe way more range than Will Ferrell is the better way to say it. Like, Eddie Murphy could do like a real movie. I don't know if Will Ferrell could do like a real role or something like that. I mean, Eddie Murphy literally did do real, like Dolomite, like he has an Oscar. Like, I don't know if Will Ferrell has. Does Will Ferrell have an Oscar? Hey, yo. I guess that would be the last thing. If Will Ferrell had gotten an Oscar for his comedy, chat, that would have been crazy. He does the acceptance speech as Ron Burgundy. It's like, oh, Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy. So thank you, Hollywood. I guess we can't really do a Ron Burgundy, but just thank you, Hollywood, for whatever. But I guess what are we saying about I don't know, we're just ripping apart Ben Stiller. Chat, hey, yo, the problem is he's rooting for the wrong team. It is what it is. So sorry to Ben Stiller. We're pro Ben Stiller. Shout out Ben Stiller, cool guy, cool movies. Hey, call in to debate us about Spurs versus Knicks in the finals. Give us a recap of game 1. But I forget who he's sitting with there as well too. We'll have to pan back and see. But does that mean Chalamet, Spike Lee, Tracy Morgan? Hey, yo, I did see odds. There was odds. DraftKings, I think, had odds for which celebrities are most likely to be courtside for the Knicks at their games, but I think that was for Madison Square Garden, not for San Antonio specifically. But let me see if I can find it here. I think Ben Stiller might be breaking the sports books with this one. Oh, chat, where'd it go? Hey, yo. Oh, wait a second. Okay, here it is. Oh, no, Ben Stiller was second. Ben Stiller was tied with Ben Stiller, Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, Chalamet, and Tracy Morgan all tied at 250 to 1 to or minus 2,500, if that makes sense. So minus 2,500 for Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, and Chalamet, and Tracy Morgan. Also, I guess Kylie Jenner minus 20,000, if we're saying it right. And that's obviously she's going to be there with Chalamet. But I guess there's a little bit of an odds that Chalamet is just rocking solo for a couple of these games. And then you have New York legends like basketball legends like Frazier, Ewing, Larry Johnson, John Starks, all next. And then Fat Joe. Hey, yo, Fat Joe's minus 10,000 to be there courtside. And Steve Sharipa is also minus 10,000. Chris Rock minus 7,500. And then Jimmy Fallon minus 800. We're starting to get, 8 to 1. Martha Stewart minus 300. John McEnroe minus 200. Rick Pitino minus 200. So, I guess, we could even get to who has the longest odds to show up. Oh, it's Oakley, chat. Hey, yo. I did hear Bud and Joe Budden talking about that. And that was one of those things that was making me think, like, oh, man. Those MSG games are going to be crazy. And we do have to, if anything, we have to win these home games because, again, MSG is going to be nuts. If Oakley shows up to MSG, chat, we might be screwed. I don't know if we can handle that. They've also got Obama at plus 10,000. I mean, 100 to 1. Like, if we're talking MSG, is this either game? Like, can I bet Obama to be at either game of the finals in New York? Like, I feel like he's there, Chad. Hey, yo. A basketball fan, the finals back in the Garden like that. I mean, he can get tickets. I feel like you gotta go. I feel like if you can get tickets to the finals at the Garden, you gotta go. And who is the like at the top of the list for people in America to get tickets to any sporting event? I think it might be Obama. So plus 10,000 might honestly seem like a good deal there. Joe Namath is a sneaky one here, 300 to 1. I don't know what Joe Namath's mobility is at respectfully these days, but I mean, again, New York legend. I feel like he's gonna want to rock a coat or something. He's gonna want to be stylish out in public for the finals. So that might be a sneaky bet as well too. Emily Ratajkowski, 500 to 1. Calvin Klein, 500 to 1, as well. I don't know about that, but they did also have Alicia Keys at 7 to 1. I think we just want to hope that Alicia Keys is there as well too. IT, can we get the seat next to Alicia Keys at the finals? Hey, yo. Is that Swiss Beats? It might be. But if it's not, if it's available, if it's just, if for some reason, he's got an album to work on or something, we'll just hang out. Hey, yo. Chat, be professional is what IT just said in my ear. It is what it is. But I was trying to think, what's the movie comp where... Hey, yo. Oh, I think the Preacher's... Is the Preacher's Wife what I'm thinking about, chat? Hey, yo. It'll be like a little Preacher's Wife situation where it's like, nothing really happens between Denzel and Whitney, but it's like, maybe there's obviously, if I could say, again, a fun night. Like, they were just hanging out. That's all it was. They were just hanging out. Just, hey, yo. Just a little night at the jazz club. Just as you do with a guy that you just meet. And, that happens to be Denzel. But... I guess, chat, ayo, this will be like the jazz club for the Preacher's Wife. Will be us sitting next to Alicia Keys at Spurs versus Knicks game 3. Oh, they've got Chalamet in like row 5. They just cut to him there, so I like that. Did they do some hierarchy stuff? I like that Ben Stiller got the front row. Yeah, chat. And again, he's locked in. He's excited. So maybe he is already. I guess he's not already. If Ben Stiller is the number one New York fan, then that means Spike Lee is actually still the number one New York fan. Hey, yeah. With all due respect to Ben Stiller, but he's not a more legendary New York fan than Spike Lee. But he is, again, obviously, upping his legendary fandom namesake as this goes. And New York has taken the lead, chat, 40 to 39. Hey, yo. The starting lineup for the Knicks here, I guess, having Brunson back in the game mainly has helped settle things down, obviously. And hey, yo, the Brunson Cornet minutes, no Wemby, like we're saying, and then Cornet in the game as the center. That's gonna be where we lose the finals. where we win the finals is going to be Dylan Harper cooking off the bench, like we're saying, but then Cornette, unfortunately, might balance that back out. So we'll see if Cornette plays anything past game 3 at some point. I mean, he's our only backup center, I guess. So we do kind of just have to. We do have to get like 8 minutes. Pause. Hey yo, whoa, hey yo, pause. Cornette's like, what are you talking about? I didn't like the Magic tonight. We do have to get at least 8 minutes out of Cornette at some point. Again, hey yo, there's just no way to say it, Chad. There's just no way to say it. It is what it is. Oh, Chad, I guess somebody was like hugging Towns on the sideline. I don't know what that coaching method was there. Hey yo, I think he was just hyped up about something. But Keldon Johnson, corner 3, 6th man of the year. Chet, kaboom, kaboom goes the dynamite. Keldon Johnson, you love to see. Or is it boom? It's just boom go. Oh, Chet, we messed it up. Hey, yeah, we need to get that in as a drop. And boom goes the dynamite. Hey, yeah, shout out to Keldon Johnson for 3. Oh, Brunson, Chet. He hasn't necessarily been cooking this half. I mean, again, his knee was hurt. So I guess we kind of overlooked the Willis Reed moment when he stumbled back on the court. I guess it was in San Antonio as well, too. Wemby, oh, shanks a 3, Chet. Clanks it right off the front of the ring. So neither superstar playing that well, I guess, for the team. And, Spurs in front. I guess New York could feel good about that as well, too. Pause. That, again, Brunson still has a level of, a level that he could get to for the game that is not there. Oh, Shamit with the step back 3, Chet. Hey, goes from injuring Brunson to now a clutch 3 at the end of the half here for New York. Oh, Robinson's going to foul Wemby as he is trying to pump fake him out on the baseline. So, maybe attacking Robinson off the dribble is honestly going to be a matchup advantage there for him when for Wemby when it comes to that perimeter game. But Shamit, Chad, is he going to be the guy that cost New York the finals, or is he going to be able to swing it here for him at some point? Because his perimeter heat check ability, like we were talking about heat check earlier, his perimeter heat check ability is pretty important for this New York team. And not, do we look at Bridges' stats here? I guess we have to kind of keep up the stats as well, too. It seems like it's just been, Bridges 2 for 3. I guess pretty good, but just kind of a quiet game overall. Towns 3 for 7. They might have to, and we were talking about, hey, we're going to, in one quarter, go from Towns needs to attack. The Towns should just start settling for 3. Just chuck up 3s for Towns. But that's what's going to end up happening. Hey, so if it's in the flow of the offense and they're doing a job of creating space for him and getting him open 3s, and that's one thing. If he is bailing himself out because he doesn't want to attack anybody and just take 3s that way, then no, that's another thing. Chat, 10 for 12 for San Antonio from the free throw line. 0 for 1 for New York. Hey, yeah. But I do think, again, they have settled for some jumpers as well, too, so it's not totally unfair that has happened. But Brunson, maybe in the first quarter, did have a couple of drives that, regular season, he's probably going to get some easy calls on. Who knows? But Champagny now 3 for 4 in the half as well, too. So the depth of San Antonio proving to be the factor. The other guys here, chat, in a good way, obviously, you're going to need somebody else to step up if your main guys aren't. But if you're going to win the title, again, that is that claiming of the best team in the league. And the thought with this whole Wemby experiment is just not where Wemby's at in the timeline, but where is the rest of the Spurs team at in this timeline as well? And is Wemby ready to be the best player in the league, the best player in a finals team? But is this team, like, the best basketball team in the league? Like, that is definitely a case that, again, is right there. I mean, New York is always the other team that's in that conversation just because, again, of, like, the raw basketball talent that they have together. Pause. But there is a little bit of, I think, a slight bit more cohesion with this San Antonio lineup than there has been with the New York lineup. Again, I think the New York lineup, everybody right now is a better version of, like, they're somewhere near the best versions themselves as a player. So that is, again, a major advantage. There's a maturity there. They've seen a lot of NBA basketball. But for, again, for the Spurs, I think they really do have a case that you just say that this is the best roster in the league. OKC would have been the other team. And I think that Boston would have been up there as well, too. But I don't know what their roster is going to look like year to year as they continue to, have to lose guys and make room in the salary cap for certain things, and, pay Brown and Tatum both. Having Brown and Tatum as a duo is one of the great starting points that you're going to have in the NBA. And then you have, obviously, I got like Pritchard off the bench as well too. And yeah, obviously it was a better lineup a couple years ago for sure. They won the title, but I guess Derek White. I'm forgetting about Derek White as well too. Derek White and Pritchard. Maybe again, who knows what the moves are going to be looking like throughout the course of the offseason, but that's still a pretty talented right now team as well too, even if Spurs have a little bit more longevity potential there. But yeah, it could be both. It could be right now that this team is quote unquote the best team in the league, and still not. Matchup stuff, in health stuff matters as well too. It really mattered for the Thunder in a way that I think is going to get overlooked in the fact that Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell were both out. And even if Mitchell Robinson's back for this series, again, there is just maybe even a little bit of a banged up factor, that New York has that San Antonio doesn't just quite have yet. And that could be the first playoff run. This New York team has at least been in a couple of playoff battles. Towns himself has been on a couple playoff runs in Minnesota as well too, the couple years before going to New York. So it's not like his seasons have been shorter there as well. But I guess, chat, Fox with the steal, the dunk on the other end. The Spurs are not even having that great of a field goal percentage half, and still, the lead is there. The 3-point percentage is carrying, and the free throws as well too. But 39% now, I guess 40 with the adjustment. Do we get a 3 here at the end of the half, chat? Oh, excitement! Stay tuned. Is it going to be a isolation 3 from De'Aaron Fox? He's slowly walking the basketball up the court here. He's got Anunoby on him, so I guess we're going to see Fox make his first bucket of the day. Is it a pick and roll? Oh, it is. Out to Champagny. He keeps it cooking, chat. That might be his first back-to-back 3-point makes of the season all year right there. Oh, and Wemby blocks the full court shot. Hey, yo. Halftime, 55-48. I don't know how the Spurs surge ahead there at the end just a little bit to steal some momentum. That is big. Brunson, 11 points, 5 for 15. You can kind of see the toll that he had to take offensively in that half. And, I guess obviously there could be some more makes there on his field goal line if we're just going for what the score could look like. But in terms of responsibility and him commanding the offense, hot take, that's what the half is going to look like there for him. So it's definitely going to be work in the second half as well too. But chat, in New York even winning the quarter as well overall, 29-28. But San Antonio with the sneaky lead here. Champagny, 15 points, 5 for 6, and it was Harper as well too in double digits, the two guys for San Antonio. Anybody else for New York? We have Alvarado, Jose Calderon Alvarado with 7 points himself, 3 for 4 from the field. So Alvarado and Champagny, they showed Champagny kind of talking to Alvarado after one of the 3-point makes there. So I don't know, we're going to get a Champagny-Alvarado duel at some point here. But yeah, Harper with 12. 4 for 5 from the field, and Champagny with 15. So, and Wembanyama with 9, 2 for 8. Still the starting lineup really needing to get going here from an efficiency standpoint. Speaking of 1999, chat, hey, yo. Definitely a defensive, grinded out type of game. A little bit of a lower scoring one. But either way, still entertaining, and the second half, I'm sure, is going to be hard fought as well, too. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break. We got the second half, chat. Hopefully, San Antonio. Game 1, the home crowd. It's good for the league. It's good for the league. So we'll see if the Spurs are able to help the league out in the second half. Right after this.
All right, chat, we are back, and it is good to have Inside the NBA on the call as well, too, for the, inter-game, post-game, pre-game, all, just the media stuff, obviously, that they are brought in for. Just the fact that they have to have a little bit more importance on that, on the conversation of the game. I think it does elevate the event. There was the last couple of years where they just threw away all this stuff for halftime and in the post game as well too. It really did feel like it kind of, didn't ruin the fight, didn't ruin the finals, but there is that momentum of celebration that you have, and just it makes the event feel a little bit more like obviously the standalone championship event it is. Not even just for the the people at the event, they're having the trophy ceremony, all that stuff. It doesn't matter, but for the viewers, for again, just making the viewing experience for the championship level stuff that little bit more special. Like, I do think that just having to actually, be forced to focus on the conversation of the game a little bit more, hot take, is just going to be a benefit to the league and to the viewer experience of the finals. Again, obviously having Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny and Ernie Johnson on the call as well too is the best. Not only do you focus on the conversation, you get the best people in the business to do it, but you just like I'm saying, the format of halftime being forced to change the way that it has, and I'm sure the post game as well too. Maybe we haven't been as locked into some of the. Well, no, we have. I guess we just haven't been. They haven't done the finals yet, so I'm assuming they're not going to throw to SVP right after. Change that during the finals. Will they throw to SVP and it's like, now we're getting a call in from inside the NBA. They could ruin it and do that. Who knows? I guess SVP. We're not saying that you're going to ruin anything. I'm just saying that we want to sit with the post game a little bit. We want to reflect on the finals. The Spurs are in the finals. We want to reflect, but just in general, it is a little jarring when you just cut from the finals to Sports Center right afterwards. Then it's just like it's over, because it is also the end of the NBA season as well too. It's just like the season is over. Like, hey, yeah, we are done. Hey, SVP is up. That's it. We got October. We'll see you later. But again, I think that it does bring back the finals viewing experience as an important thing a little bit more. And even some of the court stuff that they're doing as well too. Just making it important. Making the event itself important, because again, the basketball is obviously important as well too. We all know that the product itself does have its question marks and its things that do have to be worked out. That does, that goes without saying. But again, working on the things that go around and pause into the product as well too is just as important as the actual or in some ways as important as the basketball that is on the court. Just good to see, again, the finals being elevated as an important event in the NBA. Hey, it's not just another in-season tournament situation. This is the finals. This is the actual. This is the real season. That's what they should rename it to, chat. The real season tournament. Hey, call it that. But again, obviously, do we need Shaq over here criticizing the center play for halftime? We do, chat. We actually do. We do pause. We do like that. Charles calling out the Spurs pick and roll defense. So Wemby, you got a challenge. You got a challenge there that you need to step up and guard Cat. But if the Spurs are struggling in pick and roll defense, again, obviously the Knicks could just play more efficiently as well too. But I do think that there has been some good, for the most part, good contesting. There were some early layups and stuff, early on. Again, obviously when San Antonio was getting back to the game. But when that run happened, there really was a different effort that they were playing with there a little bit. But, again, obviously the Brunson injury as well too. And I'm sure, you can see it now if the game stays like this. You can see the New York fans complaining about the refs. It is what it is. I can already hear it, chat. Hey, I guess no Joe Budden pod this week. We're going to have to wait till after the finals, unfortunately. Just the first thing we turn it on is, okay, Scott Foster. Hey, I guess, if the Spurs are winning them, do we care if the
the Knicks fans. I guess we don't want to hear them. We don't want to hear them celebrating, right? So, hey, yo, I guess enemy territory for the finals, chat. We're gonna have to only pro Spurs pods, I guess, for Shea Serrano, books only, audio books only, for the finals. It is what it is. Shout out to Shea Serrano. You know, probably top five. Do we have to Google celebrity Spurs fans, chat? Hey, who do we have pause besides Selena Gomez? Is Selena Gomez still a Spurs fan? I feel like the Spurs haven't posted that Selena Gomez in a Spurs jersey image in a while. Let me see here. Celebrity San Antonio. I guess because if we don't specify, we may get the soccer team. So celebrity San Antonio Spurs fans. Yes, Selena Gomez. Hey, yo, George Strait, the king of country music, Texas native, has deep ties to San Antonio, has been a steadfast supporter of the team for decades. Hey, yo. Oh, Chad, this is a celebrity row right here. Look at this. Look at this. Shane Gillis. I don't think Shane Gillis is a Spurs fan. Hey, yo. But, I mean, you know, obviously would make the celebrity row livelier. That's for sure. But, yeah, Chad, hey, yo. This is crazy. Shawn Michaels as well, too. Jared Padalecki, the supernatural star, grew up in San Antonio and is a vocal supporter of the franchise. So our celebrity row is Selena Gomez, George Strait, Lady Gaga, Danny Trejo, Tommy Lee Jones, Eva Longoria. You know, again, we're gonna just because I'm pretty sure Shane Phillips, he's a Philly guy, right? So I'm pretty sure that he would be a Sixers fan, not a Spurs fan. It says spotted courtside during deep playoff runs, unless he is often fraternized with Spurs Coyote mascot. Oh, is that like a Robin Lopez situation? Hey, yo, what does that mean? But, you know, is he bandwagoning? Maybe he's a bandwagon. But Gabriel Luna, as well, star of The Last of Us and Terminator Dark Fate. Is that the newer Terminator movie? We did just get Terminator 2 on DVD a while back, but yeah, we got Padalecki, Tommy. I just like the idea of Danny Trejo and Lady Gaga sitting next to each other, courtside rooting for the Spurs. It said Lady Gaga briefly embraced the Spurs during a 2014 trip to Berlin, posting the NBA championship trophy and the team stars. So I guess, you know, Lady Gaga, maybe not actively a Spurs fan, but Danny Trejo, the Machete and Sons of Anarchy star, is one of the most visible celebrity Spurs fans, having appeared in promotional videos for the team during the 2014 finals. I guess I did forget that Danny Trejo was, I guess, you know, a major marketing point for the Spurs at one point, I guess. I don't know. Tommy Lee Jones, an actor, Texas resident, has been spotted courtside supporting the franchise. I guess I feel like maybe not for a while, though. I don't know. Tommy Lee. I guess the celebrity Spurs fans I'm seeing over here on the Reddit, they kind of are the players, aren't they? Like, it'll be Duncan and Robinson and Ginobili and Parker and Pop will be the ones that they get the cutaways to. And that's, you know, awesome as well, too. But, you know, Selena Gomez next to, you know, Ayo, is that how the celebrity row works? Tommy Lee Jones, Selena Gomez, and then Danny Trejo. Boom. 1, 2, 3. On what we got those three on one side, and then Chalamet, Ben Stiller, and Spike Lee on the other. I mean, Chad, make no mistake. Unfortunately, the New York movie is probably better than the San Antonio movie. It is what it is. I mean, this is crazy. Maybe San Antonio. Do we make we're probably not making a better song than the New York fans as well too. Because I guess we do, like, literally all the New York rappers are, you know, New York Knicks fans. I guess maybe some of them Brooklyn fans. You know, I guess Jay-Z, is technically a Nets fan, right? Because he owns the Nets. Is Jay-Z now a Knicks fan? How does that work? Hey, yo, do we have to... we'll DM Jay-Z real quick and ask him, hey, who are you supporting in the finals real quick? I guess, oh, Chad, I almost tried a Jay-Z. Do you have to mute the microphone real quick and try a Jay-Z impersonation? Hey, yo. I want to try it, Chad. I really do, but I know it's not going to go well. It's not gonna go well. Chad, I'm just gonna tell myself so I don't have to do it now. Pause. I'll just do it later. Hey, yo, pause. We'll just after the pod, we're gonna be working on our Jay-Z impersonation. Tune into the next you know, game 2. We'll be, you know, hey, yo, tread lightly. You know, Jay-Z. I don't know, Chad. You know, we're gonna have to really get the voice to be able to, you know, if we could say respectfully, get away with it. But you know, if it's actually a good, you know, well done impersonation, then, you know, that's just I guess I was, you know, we tread lightly. But I think as long as you're doing the voice, if you're sticking to some voice work, I think you can make that work. But yeah, if we can, because I guess his speaking voice is the thing that people do maybe impersonate more than like his rapping voice, because he does obviously have a very specific cadence and all that stuff. But again, it's people more doing. And I guess the problem is, as I want to start doing it, I'm thinking a little bit of Tyson as well too. Like I'm getting a little bit of the, not maybe Mike Tyson's voice, but the way people impersonate Tyson, where it's that cadence of like, oh, I'm yeah. It's, again, I can't even do the voice, but it's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm the, there's like this repetition to the way that people do the Tyson thing. And I feel like Jay-Z's got a little bit of that same repetition, but again, just the pitch of his voice is a little bit different. Does Jay-Z rap like Tyson talks, Chad? Hey, yo, are we just dropping Hove bars right there? I don't know. I guess Jay-Z raps. I guess he would probably say more like he raps like Tyson boxes, right? Versus, what do we say? Versus Tyson talks. Versus the way Tyson box. Hey, yo, that might be a pause, but either way, just the idea of obviously knockout bars. Hey, yo, now we're just genius annotating our own Jay-Z lyrics. Hey, yo, chat, we're just Jay-Z AI, we're just Jay-Z, Chat GPT, Jay-Z ourselves. But I was thinking during halftime as well, too, I'm surprised that Shaq hasn't dropped an AI called Shaq GPT. Hey, yo, the man brands everything. How's he not getting into AI at this point? He's at the forefront of every business innovation. He's like Starbucks and, Google and Facebook. It's like everything that's ever been... he's like I almost said that Shaq is the Forrest Gump of investing, chat. Hey yo, he's just at the forefront of every investment. It is what it is. You can't help it. I mean, it's like every big business that ever took off in the 90s and 2000s. Shaq just and shout out. He's great. But then he also has his Shaq brands as well too. So I feel like, we need a Shaq GPT, chat. I don't know. Is Shaq GPT just like, is it using just, the basic AI technology that all these AI machines are using? Or is it supposed to be like Shaq responding? I don't know. Every time you ask it about something, it just complains about the center play in 2025. It's like, oh, Shaq GPT, how do I grill chicken thighs? And it's like, oh, I guess it was, the way Wemby turns Karl Anthony Towns into barbecue chicken. You have to toast him from the post and then, bring him out for... I guess, Shaq's probably not talking about bringing guys out for three. But, again, I don't know. Yo, is that what we get for doing the Shaq impersonation? I think so. Again, we got to probably actually be able to do the voice. But Shaq is just more if you just, you just like kind of talk quieter, right? And that's the Shaq impersonation, is nothing too crazy. Like, they're like Charles has got the easy impersonation as well too, right? You just kind of, terrible. I guess you just say terrible, right? Everybody can say terrible. Like, you get, terrible. And it's not even the voice anymore as it is the word. Like Charles Barkley has his own word. Hey, yo, terrible. But does any other, I'm trying to think, does any other famous person just like rebrand a word like that? Like, I guess, you do have to be, I guess, locked into the NBA a little bit. But for the most part, like, if you say terrible to, like, a general pop culture fan, like, they kind of might know what they're referencing. I was trying to think. There is somebody, I was like, if I ask this person at work, if I just, like, start saying terrible a couple times to scenarios, if they're like, oh, there's too many people at that table, I don't know if I can, get over there. I'm like, oh, that's just terrible. Then maybe they'll be like, oh, Charles Barkley. Then that'd be crazy. But I guess maybe not everybody. But if you're an NBA fan that's watching Inside the NBA after games late at night, then yes, you might know what terrible means. You might get the Charles Barkley reference there. But yeah, I don't know if anybody has like a word that if you just said the word, you would know the impersonation. There's definitely another in the sports world as well too. There's definitely another one out there in culture for sure. The impersonation word. Hey, yo. I don't know, I'm trying to think like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. There's not really like a single word, like if you're not doing the voice, like, if we're doing like, some type of game, like, if I say Thriller, then yes, the word association, like you could get there with Michael Jackson. But if I'm talking about, an impersonation. Where again, I don't even have to try to attempt the voice, but I just terrible. No no Tommy Lee Jones at the game for the Spurs. That's just terrible. Man, they haven't panned to any Spurs celebrities yet, so I don't know if Selena Gomez made it either. If Selena Gomez is not here for the Wemby era, chat, I mean, I guess shout out. If you're there for the Duncan era, that's obviously great. We're glad that you fell in love with the Duncan era Spurs, but you didn't fall that way. Well, the Wemby Castle Harper era is not interesting you. This is not apparently, gravitating. I'm not sure, but maybe it's just the celebrities are kind of lost right now. Everybody's wearing the same T-shirt. I don't know. There is a guy in the front row that has a Wemby jersey over the T-shirt. Is that allowed? I don't know. Is that messing up the vibe? Oh, there's a couple of other no T-shirt guys here too, as they pan down to the crowd. Do we need to get security to wander over and be like, hey buddy, can you put on your T-shirt? I guess the New York fans, you can only make them do so much, but they do have the orange section for San Antonio. Pink, teal, and orange. So maybe if you can kind of mix the New York fans into the orange and the teal, it can kind of blend and almost make it appear like it's just all Spurs fans. But it is pretty. It seems like there's a good mix of New York fans throughout. I mean, again, it's been so long since they've been in the finals as well too. This entire century almost, 25 years basically. So there is going to be just a little bit more desperation. I don't know, urgency. Just that again, these guys haven't even seen the finals. Like I'm obviously more locked in now maybe than I was back when the last time we were in the finals. So I'm, even though who knows, obviously those teen years you get pretty locked in to sports, that's for sure. But again, obviously we were aware, like we've seen a finals. Like we can't really say that we haven't seen the Spurs. If the 2007 finals had been the only one, then I feel like we could get away with saying that, we haven't really seen the Spurs win a championship, but we can say that we have. So, again, New York fans are just going to have that, I guess excitement is the word as well, too. They are just going to have that excitement of being in the finals for the first time. Chad, a bit of a slow start to the quarter. A combined 2 for 11 for the teams, 1 for 7 for New York, and 1 for 4 from the Spurs. Towns with a nice pass, though, to Bridges. Again, a quiet game for Bridges, trying to get the little jumper over Wemby, not able to get it to go there. Oh, Fox, the crossover, the spin. Oh, is that a lob? We'll count it as a lob, Chad. Give him the assist. It didn't even get to the basket, but it was a perfect pass. A lot of times, it's that air ball over the basket. That one was the first, it was so short that it was actually a good pass. Oh, and Castle almost just dunked on Wemby. Oh, Castle's taking over. He's cutting, Chat. The activity. You love to see it. Him and Wemby both jump for that lob. I think Wemby is going to get the free throw line attempts here, or I guess the camera's just cutting to him after the play. But no free throw, side out of bounds. So maybe we'll get Vassell with the inbound attempt here. 13-point lead, Chat, for San Antonio. The command of the game. You love to see it. Wemby wide open for 3. Oh, Chat, Hart stepped out a little bit, but nobody was really there. Another offensive rebound, though. So, again, the Spurs just playing with a little bit more energy now in this quarter than New York is. I mean, those are, the guards from the perimeter crashing down and getting those rebounds. And, the New York guys. It's not like there are no New York guys there, under the basket to rebound as well. But there is a little bit of watching going on some of those possessions. Brunson now a 3. Some bailout perimeter shots as well, too. Oh, Harper, the strong take. Wemby, another rebound. I guess, obviously Harper misses, but a strong take by Harper. And using that off-arm, Chat, we love to see it. The ref's not, Scott Foster looking the other way. Mitch Johnson was just like, after the handshake with OKC, he's like, you could just pay the refs? You could just do that? You just slide them a little money and they'll take it? Mark Dagnall's like, yes, they'll take money. It doesn't even take that much. It is what it is. I just saw a short of, was it Josh Johnson talking about political bribing? And he's like, you don't even have to, he's like, you don't even have to bribe a politician for that much. You just, pay for a trip out to a resort somewhere and then get him to change a couple policies. Like, I feel like that could be, that's what you do with the refs. You don't even have to bribe the refs that much. It's just like one steak dinner before the finals, and they're like, sure, we'll call everything for you. Yeah, okay. You got us the crab cakes as an appetizer? Oh, sure. You can have every free throw you want. So, it's not, I don't even feel like it's that complicated to bribe those. I guess we have to go back and look at Donaghy, chat. How much did Donaghy make in ref bribing? Here, how much did Tim Donaghy make betting? Perfect. They know exactly what we want to ask. An estimated 300 to 500K. I mean, 500K. Donaghy risked everything for 500K. He probably sold the rights of his story to Netflix for like $2 million. So, that alone made it worth it. But former NBA referee Donaghy, and this is just according to Google AI as well, too. So I guess we could go, we could make it official and look at the Wikipedia page. But what does it say here? Just, I guess, for Donaghy in general. Chat, what does it say here? He was a notorious for his temper and short fuse, dating to at least high school, straight through the NBA scandal when a federal official described him as an effing loose cannon. He was arrested for allegedly harassing a mail carrier. He was sued by his neighbors for harassment and invasion of privacy. The suit was dropped, but Donaghy was suspended from his country club as a result of his actions. Oh, Chad, he got into like a golf dispute with his neighbor, and Donaghy got kicked out of the country club. Hey, yo, like a pool dispute or something? I don't know. But hey, Donaghy's running around the pool. Was like, people are like, "Hey, stop running! You're gonna slip and fall." But this guy had a personality problem from day one. That's what this quote says here. With 99% of people with whom he came in contact with, it said, quote, "Unless everything went his way, he just became a flaming maniac." Hey, yo. The mayor of his township said, the mayor, chat, whoa! The mayor of his township said Donaghy had a very dictatorial personality. The mayor's like, this guy's controlling everything. A very aggressive personality. That's hilarious. The mayor called Donaghy a dictator. Hey, yo. Donaghy admitted to having someone else take his SAT exams for him when applying to Villanova, and one of Donaghy's high school teachers was quoted as saying, "I taught him for a year, and I think every homework assignment he turned into me was copied." Hey, I mean, does Donaghy just sound like one of the guys, chat? It just sounds like Donaghy's just a dude. Hey, yo, he's fighting his neighbor. He's cheating on tests. Hey, yo, like, I mean, it doesn't sound like that's too crazy. I mean, we've all been there. I mean, I guess again, harassment suit, but it doesn't say it's like, I'm not seeing an essay here or anything like that. I'm seeing neighbor fight and get kicked out of country club. So, again, on the scale of 1 to terrible, getting kicked out of the country club's like a 2. Like, it's not really that it might honestly be like a 0.75. It honestly, it might be negative. Like, you might get some extra points. Like, you left the country club, it's like, okay, good. What are you doing there? But no, I guess, shout out to the country clubs, right? I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. We have one country club in town, and it's like, I guess we don't, again, shout out to the country club, but I don't, I don't know. We're not like, it's not a, I guess maybe there are country clubs that there are goals to get in. I guess we can't start talking, to the one country club in town, chat. I guess, do they know, the country club doesn't know we're in the town, so, we can shout them out later and pretend like we didn't say this. But, I don't know if it's a goal to get into the country club. But maybe we just need to look at it a little bit more. We need to, like, go look at the menu online or something. See, like, is this even worth it? I don't know. But it's, like, kind of a, I don't know. Again, it seems like kind of a cool restaurant. And the golf course, like, it's not like the country club is, like, located on this pristine place. Like, it's in the, it's like in the middle of the city somewhere. Like, there's also another golf course in the middle of the city that you can go to. Like, I'm sure maybe it's more well-maintained or something. And they do have a pool. So, again, it's, like, weirdly not, like, a ton of pools in the area. But, we're in a pool desert, chat. It is what it is. We hate to see it. Somebody needs to run on getting we talked about that. Basketball courts and pools, chat. Hey, that's what we really need in this city. Some more basketball courts and pools. But, and, pool tables as well, too. There is only, like, one billiards place in town. It's, hey, chat, what is this place? But we got one billiard place, one pool table, that'd be both. One pool table, one basketball court. It's really, we're struggling over here, I guess. We just think it's an open look. It does bounce in. Testing 1, 2. Are we back? I think we're Oh, chat, the finals buffering. Okay. I think we're locked in and loaded. Our rant from local Oh, we were just, I guess, reading Donaghy's page. It is what it is. I guess, we need to find oh, here we go, chat. Okay, here we go. It's starting to it's starting to go from bad to worse now. We should have just kept reading. I guess it's after he cheated on his test. It says Donaghy's wife soon after filed for divorce requested a restraining order because he allegedly threatened to. I mean, there were threats made, chat. There were threats made. Words exchanged. It looks like it says although it does, things happen, but it says when Donaghy's name was publicized in '07 as the ref involved in the scandal, reporters reached out to his former colleagues. Everybody basically was saying the same thing. While there were those that were empathetic to Donaghy and his gambling-related plight, many of this considered his karmic downfall. Hey, yo. Maybe we need to fire up the documentary and go back through that. I mean, it seems like Donaghy is a more interesting character than we realized. I don't know. Or they're really, building up the stuff here for the doc. I don't know. What is this? Mike Massini of the Stephen A. Smith Show suggested that Donaghy had gotten himself into debt and tried to make it up by betting games. I mean, I guess, how has nobody done the Donaghy movie yet? Hey, yo. I just saw, like we said, I guess we were talking about something movie projects. I don't know what we were talking about. But either way, yeah, somebody needs to do a Donaghy movie. Somebody needs to do a Donaghy movie at this point. I don't know. I feel like there is an obvious actor to play Donaghy, but I don't know if I can get the casting. Chat. Hey, let us know. DM us at REMINGTOM on Instagram. Let us know who should play Tim Donaghy. And who should direct as well, too. A sports movie, but also like a gambling thriller as well. Is it like Molly's Game? I think, did Sorkin wrote and directed that. That was on YouTube the other night, so we ended up watching that. It is what it is. There are good poker scenes in that, and Chastain and Elba are really good. That movie moves a little bit, so that's a fun watch. Molly's Game, definitely recommend. But I guess it moves for a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. But again, through some of the sports scenes and stuff, when the movie does pace well, like Sorkin movies are going. But yeah, again, he just I guess just kept going for this one. He kept writing 220, but he directed. So I don't know if we need Sorkin directing the Donaghy movie. I guess he wrote A Few Good Men. I was gonna say he also directed. Yeah, but obviously one of the great writers. So maybe Sorkin could write the Donaghy movie. Oh, Reiner directed A Few Good Men. Rest in peace. Reiner would have been good on the Donaghy movie though. Hey, yo, what do we call it, chat? I don't even know what we call it. We could call it Donaghy. For sure. Timmy! We call it Timmy. Or something NBA, betting related as well, too. And Donaghy worked the Malice in the Palace. Of course he did, chat. Of course he did. So, we could get somebody... Daniel Day. Bring Daniel Day out of retirement to play Donaghy. I don't know. Maybe... Chat, there's got... Oh, chat, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know if we have a middle-aged... I mean, we do, for sure. But I don't know if I'm up to date on, like, who are, like, the actors in their 40s right now. Because I don't think, with all due respect, it's not like, is Brad Pitt going to take the Donaghy part? And, I mean, it definitely could be. It could be Leo or something. I don't know. But it does seem like it would be maybe a B-tier actor getting elevated into an A-tier role. Maybe Cillian Murphy. Hey, obviously not a B-tier actor. He's an A-tier actor. But the way that I was gonna use the Cillian Murphy comparison for Oppenheimer, where it's like Cillian Murphy is kind of right on the cusp of being like a real, like, if you're a movie fan, like, everybody knows Cillian Murphy, but I don't know if you would have necessarily have qualified him as a leading man before Oppenheimer, but obviously he goes right into Oscar territory with Oppenheimer as well too, or maybe like Adrian Brody as Donaghy. Okay, we're thinking about it now, chat. We're thinking about it. Get Adrian Brody in there. Does Donaghy know how to play the piano? Does he fight? Like, I guess, a couple of action scenes. Hey, yo, Donaghy stranded on another planet fighting a predator. Could be a fun plot as well too. Seems like Donaghy's unhinged enough that he could be in the squad. Donaghy and Arnold and Jesse Ventura are just out in the jungle, just get Donaghy and Old Painless, chat. Hey, yo. I don't know. Oh, Old Painless. I think the Mafia was threatening Donaghy with Old Painless, which is why he was taking bets. But I guess all that being said, 500K, and that's over the course. That's over the course. 500 was that 500K? I guess he was betting. He wasn't necessarily taking bribes. I guess that's the scandal we haven't had yet, right? Is the bribery scandal. A betting scandal is different because it puts it on the ref. A bribery, and not to say that a bribery scandal wouldn't put it on the ref, but there would maybe be some more league implications potentially. And obviously it's one ref that's like, oh, here's the whole story. The lone operator chat. Hey, yo. They're trying to build him up like are we getting it right? Lee Harvey Oswald? John Wilkes was the other one. But Lee Harvey was Lee Harvey was the lone operator, right? But it's, they're trying to build up the story here. They're like, Donaghy, totally crazy, operated by himself. The league was obviously not rigged during that time. It's just Donaghy was going crazy. Because this was during, was 03, 04, 05, 06. I mean, that would have been during, like, the Mavs Heat, I think, as, like, the one of the major sort of reffing, hey, don't look at that series in the history of the NBA sort of situations. But just that whole 2000s era. There's definitely a couple where, David Stern, somebody had to take the blame. So is that part of the movie? See, how would the movie attack it? Is it like the defense of Donaghy? The Donaghy estate is making the biopic, and it's like, oh, David Stern went to Donaghy, and it was like, oh, here's how the league's gonna operate. Here's the script for the league. Hey, yo. But we could get we could cast David Stern as well too. Joe Pesci as David Stern chat. Hey, Joe Pesci and Adrian Brody in a scene. And Joe Pesci goes to Adrian Brody's house, and he's like telling him, he's like, we really need the Lakers in the final. Shaq and Kobe's good for the, we really need Dwayne Wade to win this series here over Dirk. I don't really know why, but we need an American superstar. We can't have these foreign guys taking over the league. Hey, yo. Would David Stern have made Brunson win the series over Wemby? I don't know. Would he have been, forward thinking enough to have a Wemby winning the finals? I don't know. Adam Silver maybe is, but Harper up to 16 in this game as well. Brunson, the pull up 3 chat again, just kind of a bailout shot. I don't know if the injury is limiting him in his mobility at this point in a couple, but 6 for 20, 1 for 8 from 3, and just kind of again 1-2 dribbles off a screen and just immediately firing. When I wouldn't even say that the looks have been like exceptional for him. I mean, he's obviously Brunson, so you got to give him his credit. But he could obviously maybe be a little bit more patient in setting up his offense as well too. But Shamet for 3 has been the one bright spot as well for New York. Oh, Harper finally with the way cool off shot, way over the basket, airballs it, tough look. Brunson driving, Wemby right there. So again, I guess where is Brunson gonna go as well too? McBride for 3, not able to get it to go. I guess New York, as they're missing so many threes, I am thinking that they are gonna have a game where they do make a bunch of their threes. So we're probably gonna have to win this one just based on, again, their 3-point shooting percent. Like the mental, we need to get this win because how many games are they gonna have this type of 3-point effort? But Towns with a good rebound on the other end. Fox responds 71-66 here. So definitely probably going to be some fourth quarters here. They're going to have to prove themselves and be champions. So game 1, get it started. Let's see what we got here. Looks like it's going to be close. But, that meant, we did have a little bit of a lead as well too. And that's where New York does play. We always forget that watching these New York games, but they do give the teams a little bit of a lead. So that obviously works to the Spurs' advantage, that if they can close out some of these games, New York's going to maybe give up some of those runs. Oh, Chet, they just keep revealing a New York fan farther back in San Antonio. It's like, okay, we found Tracy Morgan now. He's in row. There's probably, I don't know, I guess Spike Lee's probably sitting up higher, but Jason Sudeikis is in row 35. It's okay, in the fourth quarter, minute 8, we finally found Sudeikis. Oh, look, I guess we got to go back to our list. Look at Fat Joe is up in section 122. Fat Joe's I don't want to spend tickets for Chad. Now we're trying to do a Fat Joe impersonation. Hey yo. I guess we're really gonna have a lot of work to do after the pod is done to get these voices down. It is what is Fat Joe. Are we gonna be just ripping through Fat Joe and Jadakiss episodes? Listen, we'll be doing a one-man impersonation of the Fat Joe and Jadakiss pod. I guess in the next, again, we tread lightly, but I guess I feel like honestly the Jadakiss voice probably a little easier to do than the Fat Joe voice. right? Again, maybe the Fat Joe voice in itself is, a tread lightly. But either way, Jadakiss, I feel like, does have a good impersonation. Is there like a college course? It's like impersonation 101, and it's like, okay, everybody, we start with our Christopher Walken, and everybody's like, I don't know what the most, I guess it's like the scene from Pulp Fiction, or something like that. But you got to start with, I guess. Now we're gonna butcher a Christopher Walken. See, we need the chorus, chat. We need the chorus. How do you do? Or something like, again, Walken's somewhere in that range. We need to watch Man on Fire. Creasy's about to paint his masterpiece. I'm Christopher Walken. Or I guess everybody's got to start with the Michael Caine, right? How do you say Michael Caine? You say my cocaine, but then you say it with a British accent. So, everybody says my cocaine. And boom, there you go. Impersonations 101, Michael Caine. And then you move to Christopher Walken. Everybody passes Michael Caine's impersonation. Then you get Christopher Walken. And then after that, I guess we'll have to, keep working. Maybe like a George Bush or something. I don't know. There's got to be something where it's like more of like a facial expression. Because like Bush and De Niro, you go kind of more with the facial expression. You can kind of do a nonverbal impersonation as well too. Obviously, like Jim Carrey able to do the De Niro face. He could break that out as good as anybody. I'm sure actually Hiddleston as well too has like a sneaky. Hiddleston's like a sneaky good impersonator. There's like some good Tom Hiddleston Tom Hiddleston impersonation compilations. Hey yo, but yeah, he's a sneaky one. Obviously, the guys that don't. It's the guys that didn't get famous by doing that, but then they'll get on the talk show and you just realize that that's just like an aspect of their talent that they have. Like, he might honestly be the best one, because everybody else I'm thinking of, not the best one, but just the sneakiest at that. And I actually don't know what his comedy background is now that I'm thinking about it, but everybody else that I'm thinking of is like a major stand-up, and impersonations are a major part of their stand-up. Jamie Foxx, Jay Pharoah, or the two that I was thinking of right away. But even like we mentioned Eddie Murphy earlier, like Eddie Murphy impersonations as well too was big for his stand-up. He obviously was doing a Cosby as a major part of his ordeal there for a while. Was that the one that, because he had an award show, maybe, I don't even know, it might have been a decade back at this point, and then he did, was it the Cosby impersonation as well? I don't know, but I mean, just an excuse to go back and watch Eddie Murphy stand up. It is what it is. But obviously most of, or like, again, we tread lightly mentioning the name, but like Spacey is a guy that is like his talk show appearances, he would have impersonations as a part of his routine. But Spacey was also, I think, a guy that, because like Spacey and like Michael Keaton, and there is some guys that did start in stand-up, but again, it's like Eddie Murphy, again, the stand-up was so successful that it was just like he went to movies, and then it just became, its own thing. And he became such a big movie star, it's like, well, you can't even do stand-up anymore at that point. It just becomes an unrealistic thing for him to try to go out and perform anywhere. Like, he's like, okay, Eddie Murphy just has to, it's like, I want to perform stand-up. Well, I was like, okay, well, I guess, unfortunately the Clippers are playing tonight, so the arena's booked. It's like, oh, I guess I can't just go out and do a show on Tuesday. But, again, like, there are the guys that, not to say that Michael Keaton didn't have a good stand-up career, but just, you think Michael Keaton the actor before the stand-up. It's more of a sneaky part. Or there's another guy, Kevin Pollak, though I think he is kind of a stand-up actor, both on the resume and kind of an equal way. But yeah, again, Hiddleston's kind of one of the sneaky, like, I don't know if he was a stand-up, but has a couple of fun impersonations there as well. I'm trying to think of another guy, and I've been tuned out of the talk show game ever since Conan retired. Chat, hey, yeah, we've been tuned out of the talk show game, but I'm trying to think of who might else be the sneaky impersonator. But obviously comedians are great on talk shows anyway, so if we're gravitating toward watching that stuff, you're going to be gravitating toward watching the comedians on the show for sure. But yeah, we got 74-73, so I mean, hey, New York has evened this up as we hit the fourth quarter here. Wemby and Brunson both on the court as the clock is going down. Who's that? Brunson guarded by Barnes. Hey, and Barnes caused a turnover? Oh, you love to see it. I think Brunson got caught between the decisions there and didn't really know what to do. But either way, just you can see he's definitely a little bit rattled. in this game as well. I mean, you know, the Wemby factor is just so crazy at this point. Like, I don't, you know, there's not saying that there's no other reason why Brunson shouldn't be bothered, but it's just like the only other comparison is like having like a corner or a safety. It's like having Ed Reed out there, where it's like I don't even know what the basketball comparison is for who's a guy that just takes away a whole segment of the court in the way that Wemby does. It's like, okay, Darrell Revis is on the left side. Like, I guess we're just not throwing, you know, we're only throwing to the right side of the field for this game. Hey, you know, Deion Sanders is over there. Well, I guess that receiver is just out of the playbook. You know, we have to run all of our offensive plays just knowing that that receiver is never going to be open. But, oh, and Wemby misses the three to end the third. So it is tied, chat. What do you know? Towns 18 is, you know, carrying the efficiency is there for him, 7 for 14 in this game. Shamet with 11, and yeah, Harper with 16. Champagny, unfortunately, you know, not able to add to his total there too much. 15 points still in the third quarter. And Wemby, yeah, 1 for 6 from 3, 3 for 13 from the field. So yeah, I mean, you know, it literally took Shea's powers from him, chat. Hey yo, they defeat the Thunder and he takes Shea's power. He's got all free throws. He can't make a shot. No, Shea can make a shot. Hey, yo, no. We're good. The fourth quarter, Wemby 3 for 13 and we're tied. But, you know, New York, obviously, Brunson 7 for 22 and they're tied. 1 for 8 for Brunson, and he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So will Brunson just get like 6 calls in this fourth quarter all of a sudden? If he decides that that's just, he's like, okay, here's how we score now. I'm just getting to the free throw line. That is definitely a concern. Anunoby, 2 for 6. But, yeah, fourth quarter up next, chat. We'll take a quick break, and hopefully the Spurs are able to close this one out at home. You know, we're feeling confident so far, but, I mean, hey, yo, Knicks basketball, the fourth quarter, this is when it feels like they are potentially there to turn it up. So we'll be right back to follow along with the rest of this game right after this. All right, chat, we are back, and the ESPN stats said that this is the first time a finals game has been tied in going into the fourth quarter since 2021. I guess, you know, not all time, but In the last 5 years, not a single finals game. So not just I think that's just, not just game one. Like that's the entire series. So we're talking at least 30 plus finals games. That not one of them. Not say that none of them have been close entering the fourth quarter. I guess that is a little specific there, but still, it does obviously show the level of sort of evenness, and that goes into the anticipation of this series of the question of who is going to win a little bit is maybe a little bit more open-ended here than it has been maybe since, again, going back to 2016, where I feel like maybe even in that one, going up when it was 3-1, that was kind of like, I guess this is what's going to be, right? The Warriors won the last year, and I guess they're just proving that it's true. And then obviously the narrative's totally flipped there, and it becomes one of the greatest of all time. But truly, like, I don't know if anybody has a strong sway either way. Again, obviously, I think the fan bases are kind of convinced, and that is good that the fan bases are confident in both their teams. But I wouldn't say that, again, the basketball landscape is aggressively picking one way or the other. And maybe Milwaukee versus Phoenix. And I guess 2021 would have been that time, right? Because Boston versus Golden State maybe should have been a little bit more competitive. Is there a world where Boston does win that series? Like, the basketball talent is a little close there, but obviously Steph was way more experienced in the finals, way more just at the verge of greatness at that point than obviously he was, but than Tatum and Brown were at that point, and they're obviously working their way here. Obviously on the verge of more all-timeness than like greatness at that point. That would sound better, but still just like more on the verge of a little different tier of greatness than Curry was at that point. But still, again, that would have been a little bit even there as well, but still the Warriors winning that, not super surprising. Denver over Miami was definitely the one that a lot of people thought. Again, Boston over Dallas was not really like a sweating finals as well too. Hey, yo, chat, the sweating finals? Whoa. But, this one's going to be a sweaty finals. It is what it is. There's going to be close games, and I guess maybe as the games themselves, maybe reveal what the answers could be, of course, but again, going into the series, it really is pretty even. And even with the Spurs being favored, they weren't even 2-1 for the series money line. I think it was was it minus 115 that we saw him as a favorite? Maybe it was minus 150 something, but I want to say maybe minus 115 is what they were when we saw it again after Game 7. So that probably switched around a little bit, but like we're saying, at least the question marks here are going to make this fun series to watch. But it continues there with the closeness, like we're saying, in the fourth quarter. And New York now has hit a couple baskets, 80-77. So we can't panic because we did see the Spurs sustain against the Thunder a couple times, where it felt like, and obviously winning the series overall, but it felt like, are the Thunder going to, take control here in some moments? And the Spurs were able to battle back in various games and obviously compete and or get the win there. But New York playing a much more efficient half as well too, showing the stats for I guess mostly the third quarter, obviously. But Anunoby drives, banker. That one is a tough shot. So if that one went, that would have made me feel kind of bad, because I don't know if Anunoby's practiced that shot. Hey yo, as he practiced that shot, Wemby single-handedly getting the rebound there, flipping it back up to himself. Pause. Oh, the Nuns! They've moved the Nuns up to the luxury suite. Hey yo, I guess they got to get him out of the stands because the Nuns aren't color coordinated. Hey yo, the Nuns aren't wearing the fan jerseys. They don't have the certain specific section, colored for the press box. So I guess the Nuns can wear their set of jerseys up in the press box, still be there. The prayers can still be heard. I guess they got to get them closer, Chad. Hey, yo, we got to get the Nuns as close as possible. The Nuns are our secret weapon here, for sure. I mean, we didn't lose the series when they started praying. That's for sure. So I'm sure, it's going to help the finals here. Do the New York team, do they have like a priest or something? Hey, yo, whoa. But do they have anybody, chat? I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I don't know, but maybe they do. Hey, yo. Anunoby from the corner three there. He's just decided to take over the offense. 8 points in this quarter for Anunoby. What's going on? I guess Brunson is off the court, and like we're saying, he's been a little slow. Towns has been aggressive, but I guess you're gonna let Anunoby Cook if he's there. Steph Castle responding for 3. Always up for, going toe-to-toe with these guys. 86-84, keeping the Spurs right there. So, again, our guys are right there, able to hit big shots, respond. Harper's been a calming presence in the playoffs all year. I guess he's not in the game right now. And Vassell as well, too. It turns out we actually trust this team in the fourth quarter. Hopefully they, continue to prove that trust, I guess, correct in some ways as the game goes here. Alvarado, the tough layup, is not able to fall. We got to make sure that these, quote-unquote other guys aren't just cooking us on offense. And we should be okay. Because, again, Brunson probably going to have a couple of buckets here. Castle not able to get the 3 to go. Oh, McBride's got a lane, chat. Hey, Castle, the good one-on-one defense, gets the stop. Can he get it to Barnes on the wing for 3? He was open. Oh, he stepped into it, and it maybe threw his rhythm off a little bit. But Vassell does get the rebound and puts it back. So 86-86. The transition play is able to get it to go there. Oh, there's Duncan and Robinson sitting, kind of front row as well, too. Hey, how are they not front row? What's going on? Shout out to the season ticket holders, but would you give up your seat for Tim Duncan? I don't know. I feel like we did just hear, was it on Higher Learning? They were talking about somebody giving up their section in the club for Lil Baby, and actually not giving up their section is what it was. Because it's like, we paid for that section. You're not going to just move us to a worse section because Lil Baby's showing up. Hey, I guess if Lil Baby obviously, wanders over and throws cash on the table and is like, can we have the section? Again, maybe you're just doing a business deal at that point. But if it's just like the restaurants, like we want to accommodate Lil Baby before, you're like, I'm a paying customer here. What's going on? And, maybe you're on a other side of the, I don't know, who's Lil Baby? Is he beefing with Drake as well, too? I guess Drake's beefing with everybody, right? But, hey, I guess outside of the Drake-Kendrick beef, is it difficult to keep up with all the other rap beefs as well? Yeah, I guess, Drake and Hove now as well, too. But, I guess, is that officially a beef at this point? Pause. Hey, that might be a crazy pause. Whoa. But, has that officially started if Jay-Z's called him out? Or does Drake have to officially respond for it to be, an exchange for them to actually be considered, we're in a beef at this point? Pause. But, I feel like Lil Baby does have, I almost said Lil Durk. Is Lil Baby and Lil Durk, are they in a beef at all? Pause. Whoa. I don't know. But, either way, I guess, and that crew as well, too, didn't they have, was it him and Thug maybe were not getting along for a while? Again, I don't know. We can only keep up with so much news. If it's not on Hoops Hype, it can kind of get lost. Hoops Hype needs to add just like a what's going on in the hip hop beef section for the page, where it's just like, oh, today, there were diss lyrics dropped by this guy to this guy. So we need, I'm sure there is that, but we do need like maybe a Schefter in the hip hop game. Somebody break it down. We need to figure out who it is. Hey, DMS Room and Sampon, and let us know who's the Schefter, who's the Woj, who's dropping Woj bombs for hip hop like that. But also, getting the updates like we're saying. But Chet's still tied halfway through the fourth quarter, 86-86. We'll see when the teams, if we can get to a 100-point game in the finals. I feel like last year as well too, there was definitely some good offensive pause back and forths from the Pacers and the Thunder, but I do feel like it was the defense and the Pacers really getting down pause to play with the Thunder in that type of way, where you could say that it almost became a Pacers style of basketball, but it was just not that during the regular season. They were an offensive focused team, and they, to their credit, were just playing at a different level in the playoffs. I think maybe there was some second half of the season numbers. I don't know if that was for their defense or just the team's success overall that did kind of show that they were, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference last year. But regardless, I don't know if you would have identified them by their defense, but they were stylistically switching and competing and really, again, hanging with OKC in that side of the basketball in a way that you would have thought that would have been an advantage for the Thunder. But I want to say that game one ended up being maybe a little low scoring as well too. So, shocker, both teams in the finals for the first time are, maybe gonna, in game one not play their best performances as well, too. Maybe we should have accounted for that, chat. I mean, Wemby did have 40 again against the Thunder in Game 1, so it's not like he can't play well to start a series. But the finals is just a different stage. So maybe there is a little bit of a, settling in that does have to happen just for the series in general. Brunson, he actually decides to attack one-on-one, get to the basket, flips up that little floater there, gets it to go. That's a scary. You don't want to see him get the momentum. You don't want to see him, know where the paths are, the angles, start to figure that stuff out. Pause. So, Harper, though, just slithers baseline and gets that layup to go. Because, again, Brunson, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's there. Those driving lanes are for him, as the clutch performer that he is. He's going to step up in this fourth quarter. He's going to have, 8 to 12 points at the worst to carry here. At least, I guess, 6 minutes left. Can he get to 12 points in the fourth quarter? 8 points in the fourth quarter might be a little rich. But still, again, he's going to have the offensive gravity impact as he is creating that stuff for him. But Castle, another tough layup opportunity, probably playing for the foul a little bit too much there. Is Brunson drawing the foul that time? Yep, he is. In transition, here we go, chat. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we still good to go? Okay, I think we are back. Again, we can't necessarily question Wemby too much because, again, he's risen to the occasion every time. But at this point in their careers, it's difficult to say that Brunson's probably not the more refined, player at this point in his career. Oh, chat, we've got like the entire board of Disney sitting next to Adam Silver. Hey, yo. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it is what it is, right? Whether or not they're sitting next to each other in the finals or not, they're all in bed together, right? But either way, there is just something about it that seems off. 4 guys in suits that are just like manipulating the league, like right there front row in San Antonio. It just, I don't know. Something about it's a little strange. But 90 to 86. Oh, Chad, they're kind of keeping it a little 2-shot distance now. Another turnover by San Antonio. They've had a couple of unsettled offensive possessions now, and Brunson and they're getting quicker on offense now too. Brunson's not letting them get set up in half court. He's attacking. Obviously that's going to take Wemby out of the defensive paint in a different type of way. But now he's just going one-on-one against defenders as well too. That time it's Champagnie. A little hesitation there for San Antonio not to draw any contact and turn it into an and one. So Brunson, the closer, chat. Hey, yo. I mean, it is one of those things. Is it like are we putting Brunson into Michael Myers territory? I mean, he would obviously really jump up to a whole new NBA tier. I mean, he really is, again, like now in the conversation. I feel like it is just now, though, that we would, again, maybe give him that title for best player in the league. Like, he would still maybe have gotten a best guard in the league conversation. Is he going to be, of course, a first-team All-NBA candidate? But for him to officially be viewed in the eyes of the NBA public as the best player in the league, again, like we're saying, that is definitely a potential. But from an all-time standpoint as well, too, just what that does. The guys that are in that territory, and obviously, again, the leading the guys to the championship, doing it as a guard as well, too. His style of guard, where obviously everybody's, unique in their own way. Curry's perimeter game is incredibly unique, but Brunson being like a real commander of the offense as well, too, but also that closing scorer. Again, there is just so many legacy things here that are on the line. I mean, Brunson and Doncic, sure. Hey, yo, see the OBS disconnects. See, the studio disconnects right as we say that, so we know that it's probably an iffy take. But, again, so Doncic's defensive struggles, I'm not going to lie, have been obviously a thing that have been, something that maybe we've weighted a little bit too much in some of his player ranking scenarios. But, again, either way, not to say that Brunson's like an elite defender, but he is also not, he can be a heliocentric type of guy, but he's also doesn't have to be, where it seems like sometimes, obviously, Luka does have to be that, maybe more percentage of the time. Where, again, Brunson just is that more percentage of the time because he is just that type of player as well, too. Again, obviously, Luka a little bit in that same territory. But the point is, again, I don't know if we would consider Brunson at this point a Michael Myers going into the finals, again, where it's like, it feels like the Michael Myers of the NBA are not, again, just the great closers, but also just the great players of all time. Like, Michael Myers is obviously the greatest, slasher villain ever. So we're talking about the Jordan of slasher villains. Jordan, LeBron, again, Magic, Tim Duncan. The guys that have done it, multiple times. The franchises. Again, you have to do it for a franchise. You have to do it multiple movies. You have to get, burned alive several times, your eyeball shot out, pause, and then, resurrect. How many times can you resurrect? James Bond, he's resurrected. Again, obviously these guys have proven themselves over movies. It's a little bit different. But, he would get into that territory. Like Gladys, maybe, from Weapons, where it's like, one movie kind of crazy run for Gladys. But, again, I guess they're going to do a prequel. But, again, is Gladys going to have like a Michael Myers type of run? But obviously now it's like, an Oscar win for that supporting actor, like, maybe it goes into a different territory all time now. Like, Brunson would legitimately become, again, like one of those, like, I don't know if he's a guy right now that would be, again, like, considered one of the 7,500 best players in the league ever, like, that have ever played. But if he wins the finals, he's probably a top, I mean, it's easy to say if he wins the finals, a top 100. But does he just immediately jump into like an all 75 list? And there is just not him winning the finals, but what he has done to resurrect the New York organization. And I mean, it's not even just vibes as well too. Like, it's real, it's real basketball things. Like, he really took a pay cut there. So I mean, that has to be considered. Oh, chat, do we have a fan on the court? Oh no, chat, this is a New York fan. There's no way this is a San Antonio fan. He's not even taking a selfie with the player or anything. I mean, that would be crazy, but I mean, you might as well. He didn't even have his phone pointed toward a player. His phone was, again, that's, hey, chat, this generation, they can't even take selfies with. Remember when you used to take a selfie with a person? Hey, yo. Now he's just like, look at me, I'm on the finals court. I'm sure he's a Twitch streamer. And he's like, going live, trying to get kicked out of the court. He's definitely live on Twitch at that point. Hey, he's doing it better than us, chat, pause. We're just sitting here on the couch, lame, watching it. That guy's committed, chat. He's actually putting in the effort, the hustle to go there, get front row, get down on the court, and then get courtside to get kicked out. Oh, and then Champagny just shanked a three. So is that New York's run they've just been on, or is that the heckler now has got, the Spurs are nervous? I don't know. But he did not have the Spurs associated team, so he did not have any of the colorway t-shirts on. So he might be a New York fan, but he didn't also have a New York jersey. Brunson has scored the last eight points in the game. So I mean, again, it is what it is. Brunson now, again, can he be the face? Can he be the face of the league like Wemby can? But he can definitely be the best player in the series, and ultimately that is what is going to matter here. And yes, if it is close in the fourth quarters, oh man, that is going to be tough. I mean, I don't want to do the basketball math and say what does this say about Shea. Hey, yo. Because, again, the Thunder were injured, and Shea was awesome in that fourth quarter, or in Game 7. I guess we could go back and double-check the fourth quarter specifically, but he was awesome for the most part in that Game 7. So, again, I feel like that's a great game for looking back. And is that Stanley Tucci? Who is that? Hey, yo. Or who am I thinking of? Not Stanley Tucci. Who's the guy in Transformers, Chad? Hey, yo. Is that the movie that we know him from? I guess that is the movie, but is that the movie that he should be known from? I don't know. It's not Tucci. But it's the guy that's kind of like Stanley Tucci. Let's see here. He's the agent in Transformers, and I honestly don't know what else he is in besides that. But he is like a good, sidekick actor. What do you say? That guy. If we're talking about the rewatchables, he is a good that guy. So this is maybe the perfect example because we don't know his name. But cast. Let's see what we got here. Totoro. Hey yo. Do people get Totoro and Stanley Tucci mixed up? I don't think so. But was that John Totoro courtside at the Knicks game or at the Spurs game? Oh, chat. Now it's a Knicks game because they're winning. Hey, yo, I guess because he's a fan of the team. We're just making the association there. Oh, another turnover from San Antonio. Issue for them against the Thunder early in the series. Definitely a second half issue there. I mean, we're at 86. We might not even get to 100 in this game. This is tough. New York's at 94, so, they're a couple shots away. I don't know if our defense is going to lock in that well for the last 5 minutes. Bridges falling away. Oh, that's his shot. Right off the back of the rim. Pause. But, that little fall away jumper. 7 for 14 in the fourth for New York. Wemby with the, crazy. Again, it's just the Spurs just step up and hit a three. Like, we didn't expect this Spurs team to be the Warriors from, again, maybe more, definitely not 16, 17, or, 15, 16, but maybe 14, 15, maybe 13, 14. I don't know, but it really is just Castle and Wemby and Harper just hit threes whenever we need them to. And now it's 89 to 94, still 5, but, just enough to be like, okay, we're still there. We are still there because, Brunson's now 10 for 26, 25 points. He's been 1 for 8 from 3 for a while, so, again, he tried, but he's definitely abandoned that part of his game. Hopefully he takes a couple more because, chat, we shouldn't have said it because he's going to make them as well, too. But, Wemby 21 as well. Maybe Harper getting back in the game here for the last couple minutes. It's tough. Champagny. And I guess Fox hasn't even, been that crazy. His playmaking, 5 assists. Again, he is a good veteran out there. But, I mean, it's difficult to not watch Dylan Harper and think that he cannot provide some of the same sort of calming stuff that, that Fox can. At the best that even Fox would be. As well, too, that you would think for having just a veteran guard on the court. Like, again, it's just a credit to Harper that he is able to play like a veteran guard as well. 4 minutes for Carter Bryant, chat. Hey, you got to see. You got to see what's happening. I mean, he'd be the last guy in the rotation to, at least see what your chessboard for the evening is looking like. But, the Carter Bryant minutes, unfortunately, they just have not gone back to that. It is what it is. But 4:25, the final 5, chat. Are we getting the closing lineups? Okay, we do have Bridges going to the sideline here for New York. Hart initiating the offense. Hey, yo. Okay, there's Brunson with Castle on him. I mean, Castle's defense is just as good as anybody in the league at the point of attack. But they switched Champagny onto Brunson, and they're going to try to attack that switch quite a bit. I mean, that's good defense from Brunson right there. And forcing a difficult shot, and, Brunson doesn't make it. Hart skipped a beat for a second there because I was about just certain that he was going to just drill that right in Champagny's face after that great defensive possession. But, no, fortunately it was a shank. Wemby also shanks himself, but he does get the rebound. The Knicks defense keeps with the Spurs. Ayo, they've swung it around the perimeter a couple times. Oh, Wemby hits the top of the backboard for 3. So, once again, Champagny another rebound. That effort for the Spurs crashing the glass is back. I mean, and this is where they're their best as well, too. Again, this almost seems like the underdog team that they are. Or, that they should be maybe kind of playing with that mentality a little bit more. Where there's a chaotic nature to them flying around. Where it's like, I don't even know if they are executing that offense the way that the best Spurs teams from the past have. Where it's that beautiful game, the passes are crisp, the plays are on point, all that different stuff. It can be a little bit more chaotic than that, where they're running their stuff and, taking wild threes and crashing the glass. But, again, the effort and the athleticism is going to kind of overwhelm and win at the end of the day. But them locking into that type of mindset again is going to be, important here as well, too, for the Final Four. But, that Knicks defense as well, too. Again, they were right there the entire time the Spurs were swinging the ball around the perimeter and keeping everybody locked in. So, again, maybe it is giving up some stuff on the boards as well, too, if you're focused on everybody staying that close up on the outside. But it is going to make, obviously, shot creation difficult here, which is going to be, probably the more important goal for this New York defense. Anunoby, another tough mid-range step back, no good. Rebound San Antonio out on the break. Wemby, don't force a 3. Can you take Towns off the dribble here? Get it back to Castle. Wemby, he's setting himself up for the 3. You can see it. You can see it in his... okay, there we go. Oh, Chad, the bully ball. The bully ball on Towns. Towns hits the bucket. Or hits the floor. Wemby hits the bucket. Hey, yo. 92 to 94. That's what we want to see right there, chat. That is what we want to see. Lowers the shoulder, takes it personal. Oh, the ref just lets Wemby just lower. He did that against OKC a couple times as well, too. The ref will just let Wemby just lower the shoulder right into Towns. Towns, he does hit him with the flop there a little bit. That's for sure. I think maybe a little bit of Embiid as well, too, just kind of going with the fall. But either way, they give Towns the foul. Wemby back to the free throw line. Hey, yo, his 12th attempts for the 11th and 12th attempts for the night. Or I guess 1 attempt, so it's 11th attempt for the evening. We'll get there eventually. What order do the numbers go in? But I guess a chance to make it a 1-point game as well, too. Okay, ball don't lie. It does kind of take a second, but it does roll in. So pause again. But Castle again starting on Brunson. They're going to now switch Wemby onto Brunson. Oh, they hedge with Wemby, and Castle stays with him. Wemby drops back now on Hart. So they've got Fox on Towns right now, but Towns is just on the 3-point line. Brunson takes Champagnie, and he tries to go for that little push-off again. He maybe should have tried to go for the basket there. So the crowd's there. Wemby attacks. Wemby drives. Another Wemby foul. Oh, he was playing for it that time. He threw the ball up at the basket like you were trying to draw a foul. Oh, Shamit had an open look for 3. He started the back pedal like he was going to make it, but he missed, thankfully. Unfortunately, the Knicks got the rebound. Brunson drives. Wemby there. I think we'll give him the credit for affecting the shot. Wemby the rebound. Oh, Champagnie, chat, initiating the offense back to Wemby. I mean, this is the question for the Spurs again versus the Knicks. There is a little bit of who do we go to here versus New York has their guy. Oh, Vassell misses a 3. Castle to Wemby. Wemby the lob. Oh, Chad Champagnie threw that. I don't even know who we said. Did we say Castle? I don't even know. Champagnie threw that lob just a little behind Wemby, but that was there. I mean, a 7.5-foot guy could have dunked that if that was a good pass. Hey, yo. Because there was nobody in front of the basket, chat. Oh, and maybe Wemby jumped a little more forward than he should have up. No, that's just unfortunately that's just a bad pass by Champagnie. Hey, yo. It is what it is. And again, it's a high standard obviously in the finals. Don't mean to keep calling him out, but we also have Harper just sitting on the bench right now as one of our leading scorers. Vassell and Fox are not cooking right now. And maybe Harper should be in the game. Wemby, the free throw, ties it up. Woo, Chet! Drama! We said the Spurs we doubted them a second ago. We said their Spurs defense couldn't lock in, but at least they, have kept the tie. So the race to 100's back at this point. And this second free throw, I mean, we don't want to jinx it. Hey, yo. But Wemby sets, fires, chat. Here we go. Okay. A swish. The Spurs have the lead, 95-94. But, again, the rebounding has been even just the best source of offense at this point. When it's on the perimeter, when it's been actually having to create on that first attempt, it has not really been that successful overall. But, at least there is good offensive movement as well, too. Anunoby missing the 3. A couple of passes there for the Knicks. Back to Brunson for the corner. Oh, you gave him the opportunity. Brunson had the opportunity to deliver. You knew he's going to. So everybody for New York else has kind of had their shot here in the last fourth quarter, and they've all kind of clanked. But Brunson now 28, 11 for 30 in the game, chat. Oh, that's a tough one. That puts him up by 2 as well. This is going to force a bad Wemby a shot. Oh, Fox the mini. Oh, Fox, he hasn't made a single shot this entire game. Hey, yo, Chad, he had the midi look there. Harper would have made that. I hate to compare him, but Harper would have made that. It is what it is. Harper is 6 for 10 tonight. He is got good, obviously, good touch in the mid-range there. Pause. Bridges. Oh, the tough jump back. Hey, yo. But Fox now draws the. Is that going to be a foul on Fox? Oh, Chad, sub him out. Mitch Johnson, get him out of here. Did Harper foul out? 2 fouls. Is he hurt? What happened? I guess, Fox does have the higher plus minus. I don't know. There's some defensive rotations we're missing for Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper also has 8 rebounds, though, as well, too. 1 assist. But how many does Fox have? Fox has 4 rebounds, 4 fouls? Hey, yo, 2 assists for Fox. I don't know. Bridges makes the 3. Chat. Oh, that rebound in that corner 3 by Brunson. Imagine we lose the finals on that, chat. Hey, yo, it is what it is. I mean, Mitchell, the Cavs crumbled after game 1. They gave up a 20-point lead. 14-point lead. Well, just that's not even a lead in the NBA. Hey, yo, we don't feel bad about it, right? I mean, you got to feel bad about it, right? Because that's, the Mamba mentality. Job not finished. You got to close out the games. But, the whole series flipping because obviously the one team gets the head start in that game one, but also stealing some home court as well too. Oh, Wemby gets the Hart steals it from Wemby. The double team on the perimeter, you know, again where he's kind of forced to create and dribble around. If he could post up and, you know, kind of get that natural protection pause from the ball handler in a post up, you know, that'd be there. Oh, Brunson, the creativity around Vassell. Oh, Chad, you just got to tip your cap. It is what it is. He's a closer. He's been fighting for this New York team. He's been bringing this team back. Wemby for three. Oh, Chad. Oh, tough. Tough. It is what it is. We know, I guess, you know, do we have to close him out in the third before we get to these scenarios? Because that is tough, chat. Hey, yo, it's a hard fight. I guess we can't start, you know, writing off our team yet with 30 seconds left, down 6. But yeah, that offense, and you know, again, the rebounding and the energy was the thing that we were, you know, saying was the credit in the fourth quarter, and unfortunately, you know, on defense there, they weren't able to close out the possession and seal it. So, you know, it costs them, gives the Knicks a little momentum at the end of the game. And the Spurs, unfortunately, we jinxed it as well, too. The race to 100, 102-95 is going to be the final score. I mean, you know, obviously, 38th 25-point game in Knicks history, second in franchise history, past game 40. Okay, you know, just more Brunson stats, I guess, to credit the performance. Unfortunately, you know, we can only give Brunson so much credit because he's going to get the win over our team here. It is what it is. But, yeah, chat, you know, a learning experience for a young team. And, you know, also, Mitch Johnson, put in Dylan Harper as well, too. I don't know what's going on there. Put in the guys that are playing well. You know, I don't know if we're, like, committed to Fox has to be in the lineup. And also, Dylan Harper is kind of the future of the team. So, I don't, you know, are we going to say that that's the thing that cost us the game? You know, it's difficult to pinpoint that one decision. Again, there's obviously a little bit of a ripple effect that we're kind of going through here now. But at the end of the day, you know, having a go-to closer that is reliable in the way that Brunson is going to be, you know, such a big advantage. When even though the Spurs have that depth and Wemby is obviously the talented. I mean, Harper and Castle are both talented enough in their own rights as well too to potentially develop, you know, that end of game go-to potential. But again, as of right now, Brunson is better there. And the finals, I mean, every step of the way, the playoffs, you know, tighten AO. But we get down to the finals, I mean, it really does become like 1 to 2 guys series at some point. You know, again, last year, you're basically with Shea and J-Dub, you know, dueling Halliburton and Nembhard. And Halliburton, I guess Halliburton and Nesmith sometimes as well, too. But, you know, you have your 7, your 8 guys. You go down to, okay, here's our 5 that we're really going to rely on in the playoffs. And then by the time we get to this stage, it's just going to be, you know, you're really running your offense through your 1 or 2 guys. You're not going to take those chances to, you know, be dealing with other people that aren't going to risk it. You know, you've come this far, pause. Hey, yo, you're like, we might as well, you know, might as well try it with Brunson and might as well try it with Wemby and the main guys, and that's what's going to happen. But, you know, if it's going to be a 1 to 2 guy battle, then, you know, Brunson obviously is going to have a little bit of an advantage there as a shot creator at the end of the games with the place that he is at in his career at this point. But, hey, yo, Mike Brown trying to challenge here with 30 seconds left. What are we doing? Mike Brown trying to, you know, rarely do you see the coaches try to up their own stats at the end of the games. But he's just trying to get it overturned for no reason. Hey, yo, 20 seconds left. I guess, you know, Spurs hit a 3. They close it to 5 there. You know, chaos could happen. You got to do what you can as a Knicks fan, as the coach. You know, shout out. If anything, it just means that Mike Brown's locked in. You like to see that. But, and imagine, how does Thibodeau feel about this, Chad? Hey, yo, Thibodeau, call in and let us know how you're feeling about right now. Hey, yo, do we need to console Tom Thibodeau? Is Tom Thibodeau a Spurs fan right now, or is he rooting for the team that he coached? How does that work? Do you root against the team that fired you, or do you root for the team that you helped build up? Because I'm sure he still likes the players, right? Obviously, well, I guess maybe we don't know. You know, speaking of beef chat, pause. You know, Brunson and Hart going to drop a Tom Thibodeau diss track after they win the finals? I don't know. They get up to the lobby. This is for New York, and, you know, screw you, Tibbs. Hey, yo. But, chat, wait a second. Oh, Oh, sorry. Whoa, wait a second. Is that just one? One? Are we going to... he's on NBA Jam, chat. Did we go 2 for 2? No, wait a second. I think we lost it. It is what it is. Turnover, chat. Hey, yo. Somebody stepped in. Fast break stole it. It is what it is. But, yeah, chat. Unfortunately, these last 20 seconds are going to have to draw out. And we're just going to have to deal with it. And we're just going to have to sit here and, you know, commiserate. Is that the right term? Commiserate in the Spurs' defeat? I think commiserate might be a good thing. I'm not sure. Or a bad thing. Or it's just a state. I'm not sure. But, you know, again, Wemby with the free throw game that he had here is, you know, a tough one to move past as well. What did it end up being for the game? 14 for 16, 20 for 25. So, not you can't say you got nothing for New York, though. Not one player obviously had the single game that Wemby did, but nobody else on the Spurs, you know, had more than one trip to the line besides Wemby. So, you know, again, it's the balancing out there as well. But, you know, again, there's just more for San Antonio. So, I guess, you know, it is what it is. They won the three-point line. And I guess New York did win the three-point battle at the end of the day as well, too. 26-31. The overall, you know, efficiency battle, 36% for San Antonio to 41% for New York. Again, you know, not the prettiest basketball for the finals, but sometimes the finals does get ugly like that. And, you know, if the Spurs can get to 40, can we get to 42% of the team in the next game? Hey, yo, but we have to be over 40. Hey, yo, you're not, if it's 2026, you're not winning the finals under 40% from the field. Under 40% from the field and under 30% from three? I mean, come on. Again, it's a good thing it was as close as it was, honestly. A 10-point game here at the end, that's unfair, chat. That's unfair. That's going to look bad on the stats. The Knicks fans are going to think they're better than they were. Champagny misses a three. Hey, yo, just run the clock. 9-8. We get it. We get it. Game one. This is why we play series, chat. Hey, yo. Thankfully, it's not the Super Bowl. Hey, yo, right? Or March Madness or something. I mean, March Madness did work out for us. So, thankfully, it is March Madness this past year because, you know, Michigan's the defending champs. But, can it go this well, chat? I mean, Michigan's won the football title. We had also win the basketball title as well, too. So, I guess, you know, they're carrying our fandom right now. But it seems like maybe we can't go 3-0 in our last championships. I don't know. But Brunson with some words for Scott Foster afterwards as well, too. Now he's got to talk to Michelle, hey, yo, Lisa Salter. I'm going to just say Michelle Tafoya. Hey, yeah, we're just thinking Sunday Night Football. It is what it is. I don't know why. Shout out to Lisa Salters. Our bad. Do we have to go now, chat? We lost. It is what it is. Cancel us now. We lost the game. We getting reporters' names mixed up. Hey, yo. No. It is what it is. You know, game one, chat. It happens to the best of them. Hey, I don't know what the stats are for teams losing game one and winning the finals. Probably not great. But, you know, both these teams haven't been there, so there is not necessarily the precedent of New York, you know, closing out a final series in this type of way. The Spurs, like we're saying, obviously have the chance to. Brunson, the second player in franchise history with 30 points in finals game one. Willis Reed, the only other. I mean, again, Willis Reed, the only other guy to play in a finals game one besides Brunson as well, too. But, you know, both of them have played well. And I guess New York has almost said, well, I guess, yeah, the other guys that played against the Spurs, right? Sprewell and those guys. So New York is 2-1 overall in finals because that would be their one loss. They're trying to avenge this, chat. Hey, yo. New York lively in the streets. I mean, obviously we have to win game two, but like I'm saying, I just don't, you know, are we going to steal one in New York? Hopefully. Hopefully we don't go back to San Antonio down 3-1. We may have had to have swept them in San Antonio, honestly, the more I think about it. Because, geez, that energy is going to be crazy. I mean, is there going to be a better finals atmosphere? Do you say ever, chat? I mean, it's difficult to say ever. You know, we were not there for the Last Dance Bulls live. We might have to throw in that game afterwards and just judge what the, you know, the decibel level of the crowd is. But those New York games are going to be insane when they're back there. Are they going to get every call? I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be a place that I don't know if we can, you know, not say we can't bet on San Antonio. Again, a championship team, you're going to have to go into a hostile environment. But you also got to take advantage when you have a lead that way. But again, they were definitely getting a little bit up on themselves, pause, as well too. So, you know, they maybe needed in some ways. not saying that you ever need a humbling experience in the finals. And, we can't treat this finals as a finals in the series of finals, if that makes sense. Where it's like, oh, Wemby's going to have 3 or 4 finals appearances in his career. This will be the one that sets him up for the next win. I mean, yes, there have been guys that have had that storyline in their careers, so it is possible. But in our mind, we're thinking if you're in the finals, you got to take advantage when you're there. It's not, oh, the next time will be the time. Now, again, game to game, you got to obviously make your adjustments, and maybe sometimes that happens in game to game. But and I was also seeing as well too, again, speaking of like just the pressure on San Antonio to win this, I was seeing somebody that said if Wemby loses the finals, now all of a sudden he can't be as good as MJ, because it's not that MJ, it's just that he never lost a finals. So it's not that he won all of the finals late, lost one early and just made it, or 6-1, or I guess what I try to say. It's not just that MJ won 6 finals. Obviously, it's that he went 6-0 in finals. If Wemby goes 7-1, I guess maybe he's probably, that's 8 finals and 7 wins. You're probably better than MJ if you win 7 finals. But if Wemby goes 6-1, does that mean he can't be better than MJ? Does he have to be more or better record? Because Tim Duncan, obviously, I guess there's a world where he's 6-0, but could have been 5-0 in finals as well too. If he's 5-0 versus the 6-0, I guess he's probably not going to get, he's probably not going to get debated for greatest player of all time still. But regardless, at least there's, something else in the correlation there as well. But I guess the bar is high for Wemby here. He can't even, one playoffs in, he's made the finals. Obviously, you have to win once you're there as well. But it's like now all of a sudden we're talking about him and the greatest player of all time. Like his entire career is now set up in terms, it's capped. Like he lost a finals, now he can't be better than MJ ever. Like I guess again he does have the thing that Mahomes has over Brady, where he does, and it's maybe a little different for basketball, but he does have the, if you could say, aesthetic factor. Pause. Like, I don't know. But he just has the visual on-court factor of this is something that we've never seen before. Again, MJ is obviously, in his own way, I guess, if we're being honest, you can't really say MJ's a one of one, because at least Kobe's there, but also just that guard as well. But obviously he's the best version of whatever that scoring guard is that we've seen, and add in the fact that he's a great defender as well, too. It's not like Wemby just, you could say that, oh, Wemby impacts the game defensively, like that immediately makes it better, whatever the trait conversation is over MJ. It's not like, immediately you're going to say that there. Because, again, MJ is obviously one of the most impactful defenders that we've had from the perimeter. But, like we're saying, again, the perfection, the bar for conversation at this point for Wemby is just, like, impossible to clear. And there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of buzz, and again, the league's ready for him to take over, and the fans are ready for him to take over, and that's fun. And I'm sure there's, those same fans are not the neutral ones that aren't Spurs fans that are, ready to be like, hey, yes, this is, or ready to, I guess, admit that this would be Wemby's league, or, be okay with it, and, however you want to phrase it. But, I'm sure they're also good with the Knicks as well, too, breaking some type of franchise curse. But, again, obviously, like we're saying, just the narratives for Wemby right now are crazy. So maybe a lot of that stuff being reset, maybe some doubt now being installed after this game will be good for the team to have their backs up against the wall a little bit. But like we're saying, for the most part, when you are in these, final scenarios, obviously you have to, capitalize while you can. But unfortunately, this is a tough one, chat. This is a tough one. This is definitely a must-win game. We have to go back and look at this playoff run and double-check to see like what games they lost when they should have won. But again, they took care of. Well, I guess we did have that Minnesota game where Wemby went out that we still could have very easily won. But I don't know if that again goes into the should have won that game category. That's just more of a could have won, and obviously the series was still fine there. The OKC maybe dropped a game themselves, but did we drop a game in that series as well? I'm trying to think, maybe that kind of cancels each other out there. But this is that first kind of game where it's like we probably should have closed out this game, and unfortunately now the series is just different because we didn't. So, again, We're not used to seeing Spurs teams, lose in finals, so this would be a new experience for us. Obviously, they've had their competitive finals in the past, but like we're saying, this is a overall unproven Spurs team, and in an attempt to get there, obviously there's going to be their ups and downs, but this is going to be interesting to see a team this young on this stage if they're going to be able to overcome what New York is throwing at him here. And Anunoby in that fourth quarter as well too, had his little run, so just the veterans taking over and stepping up when they needed him to. It was tough stuff, Chad. Hey, yo. But, game 2 Friday night, we'll be back for it. We'll be live following along. You can catch us here. It'll be great. We'll be having a good time. If anything, competitive games. That these are going to be hard-fought battles here. These teams are pretty evenly matched. It does seem like, sort of that OKC, New York, San Antonio triangle for best 3 league. Obviously, Detroit was in there for the regular season record anyways, but I don't know if we consensus trusted their roster versus the 3 rosters that we just mentioned. I mean, in some ways they would have probably been more in that Rockets, Minnesota tier, where it's I don't know if this team's performance really matches what our perception of the team is, for better or worse. But, again, it does seem like those really, and Denver, I guess, would have been the other team as well, too, for best team in the league conversation. But, again, it does seem like, obviously, that is the right order as well, too. So, some years, again, where we get, the Mavs as the 8 seed stumbling in, or the Heat as the 8 seed stumbling in, maybe it seems like the finals are a little bit off in terms of what the matchup could have been. But, again, this is about as high value for that as well, too. So, yes, chat. Hey, we'll sit through game 2, even if it's another loss. It is what it is. Hopefully, not a hard-fought series that is going to be, a bunch of quick closeout wins for New York. But, yep, chat. You can join us Friday. San Antonio favored going into game 2. 5.5-point favorites. Again, the desperation, I guess, of going down 2-0 is also going to play a factor there. Tickets as low as $873, so you can still get finals tickets for less than $1,000. Hey, this close to. Seems like it's not a bad deal. I don't know if we need to get a view of from where those tickets are going to be at. But as long as you're in the arena, you can see. Is it going to be behind some type of load-bearing pillar or something like that? That might be an issue. DM somebody and see if we get a little discount at this point. I don't think San Antonio has any of those bad blind spots, though, in the arena that maybe some of the other ones do. Though maybe that's a tour that we do here on the Remington. We do the blind spot tour. Imagine, chat, and then we just sit at all the bad seats in arenas. We watch games but don't watch games. Could be interesting. We'll workshop it if I guess we have some type of, if we need to go soul searching after the Spurs lose the finals. All of a sudden it's now we're just, sitting in the worst seats and all. There's that one in the Rose Bowl where it's behind a corner of part where the stadium juts out or something like that. It's you really can't even see anything. I think they just put a chair there for symmetry purposes, but they also sell a ticket for it. So it's also it's whoops, I forgot about that one. Yep, you can't really see the game there. Hopefully you can kind of wander over there and see what's going on. But we'll have to, I guess, workshop the idea like we're saying. And, get back to you guys when we get kind of a fully formed pause situation there. But, hey, whoa. Crazy way to end, chat. Do we have to, I think we might have to say something else just to, we have to end on a make. I feel like that's kind of a clank off the side of the backboard. But, either way, you can follow us here at REMINGTOM Pod on the YouTube, on the podcast feeds. You can DM us at REMINGTOM Pod on Instagram with a message if you want to communicate with us over there as well, too. That is definitely going to be the place to do it. Hey, I'm not saying you need to send us your condolences. I get it's just game 1, so just wait on that. Just wait on that. We'll give the Spurs a chance. We'll give Wemby and Castle and Harper a chance to match up with what Brunson can throw at these guys at the end of the games. But that'll conclude what we have for tonight's live stream. We will be back Friday, and we will be here for the, of course, finals games, keeping up with the schedule. But you can subscribe to the YouTube here, and hit the little however you have to alert yourself to get the notifications because, we'll be popping on live a couple other times as well, too. But the next time will be day after tomorrow, Friday night, Game 2 of the NBA Finals. You can join us then, and we will, we're looking forward to it because it's still, the hope is still there, and we are at home. But this could be the end of the hope, chat. Friday night could be the end of the hope for the season. Again, hopefully it's a long and happy tenure with the Spurs. But we'll see if the immediate hope, the immediate expectation, we'll see if it all just tumbles crashing down Friday night if New York goes up 2-0 in San Antonio, and then we have to go back to Madison Square Garden with New York with a 2-0 lead. Hey, yo. People saying Spurs in 5. They jinxed us, chat. It is what it is. So, we'll have to go join the nuns in prayer right after this for our team. It might have to take that to stop Brunson in some of these fourth quarters. Hey, yo. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm watching Love Island. I'm just saying, but it is what it is. Okay. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Friday. I guess Game 2. We'll be here. Peace.